Hey everybody, it is the weekly Alaboom, 9th of July, year of our Lord 2025. This is the longest running weekly vidcast on YouTube. I dare you to find one that went longer. You can't because there isn't one. We got what, two more before Gen Con? I hear somebody special is going to Gen Con
Oh,
though.
who's going to Gen Con now?
I don't
Oh,
know. Some hack with a hack website with a
yeah, I'm
with
going.
a yeah. Oh, it's you. Oh,
Hey,
I
it's
thought
me.
I it's me.
I haven't gone
Uh
since 2019.
very, very Obi-Wan of you. Know him? It's
I
me.
am him. Do I know him? That's me.
Hell. Um
Yeah, it's
Hello
gonna be
Kip. Hello Nathaniel. Hey
exciting
Kabuki.
times.
Kip was number one for a second, and then Kabuki took it over. So I
Ah,
just
by one
yeah,
post.
yeah, one post. Uh
I hate the leaderboard. Stupid.
Yeah, well.
Fuck you.
No, the that was my uh like that meme of the Obi-Wan, like, it's like, do you know Obi-Wan Kenobi? Know him? He's me or whatever, that thing that with Alec Guinness doing that.
Yeah.
There's a D&D meme, and it's just like it was something like uh and it didn't actually say it. It's like it's like when people are, it was something like knowing who the biggest murderers in your campaign world are, and it's just the Obi-Wan. No words. It's just know him. It's me. Uh it's a good meme. It connects a lot of uh yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. I have gray on mine. So
I switched it.
mm,
Mine turned blue, but I might actually switch it back to blue. Has it always been gray? I thought it was black.
mine's like grayish black or
Has it
whatever.
always been gray? I feel like
I
I
don't know.
don't remember this now. Classic, Bloom, Agave, and Rose are the choices. Switch it back to blue.
Well, I think you can also turn yourself into a you can turn yourself into a cat too if you want, and
Oh, a
you can
cat.
talk. Yeah, I think that option is available. Maybe that's on Google Meet. I don't know. There's some option supposedly
Weird. Really?
that will um
Could do that. Oh, look at my hair. It's like canary.
I'd have to look for it. I remember somebody did it, I think, in a Zoom meeting where I'd like said that all of a sudden they're like meow 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 meow.
Did
I
they
was like,
actually say that?
um here, hold on one second here. Um, Here we go.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Aldi,
Yeah.
I really like milk bones and water fresh from the hose, you know?
Sweet.
Yeah. Hmm.
Get all the minerals.
Yeah, they're just you just really need to get those get that straight from the hose water. That's what you need. But yeah. No. If you go
How do,
to
how do you
participants and go to video and choose avatar, and
video
then you can
video
play with that.
settings?
No, go to like there's the video.
Yeah.
And there's a little up arrow, and if you click on that, one of the options it
Yes.
says choose avatar, and then you can choose one of, like, if you want it to be, you could
I don't
moo moo moo
I
moo
don't have that.
moo 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 moo.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Oh really? Oh, you. I'm just gonna say I don't think you can really live unless meow 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 meow
I like the
meow
blue
meow
shirt.
meow. Meow, 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 meow. Bring
Is
me
that
some tuna.
does it work pretty well? Let me see your speak again.
So some of them work better than others. And like if I'm looking away, like it'll turn its head for me and like
Yeah,
I look up and down and stuff. And depending on like the cat's mouth doesn't open really well, but the grizzly bear, I like the grizzly bear. His mouth opens up a little bit more, and the cow does another one. There's this wolf.
that's
Oh,
a wolf.
that's supposed to be a wolf. It looks kind of like a mouse to me, but
Kind of looks like
uh,
a mouse too.
I mean, anyway. Yes, what won't Zoom do uh
To stay relevant.
to stay relevant, if you will?
Yeah, I don't have that.
That's unfortunate.
Am I out of date? I wonder if my app's not up to date.
Maybe that's why you got the blue. I don't know.
I mean, the blue I'd not seen till this today.
Hmm.
So, like, it wasn't there last week.
I have a pretty mediocre grievance that doesn't need a big audience.
All right. Just
So
it's a one.
it's like a one. It's just
Actually, give me
like,
1 second. I'll be right back.
oh, okay, geez, we just started. Now you got to go back. Oh man, just whatever. I'll just talk amongst myself here. One thing, I just need him to be here for, but no. Uh, anyway. Anyway, as people are there. Anybody got a question while we wait for Aldi to come back? I can share my mediocre grievance. Hey, it's Robert. Everybody. Hello, Robert. Hmm. What now? What's that back there? A pic of a gallows or something? Like where behind me? I don't understand. Like that? Or like my old license plate, my picture of my son from football. I mean, there's like a weird painting there that doesn't really have a home. I need to find a home for it. And there's a painting my son painted right there. Um, my speakers. I need to get a better need to put away my speakerware is better. Yeah, the Sun football one. What is that in the background in that picture? Are you talking about? It's not a. Hold on. No, hold on. Oh. My son painted this. Might be tough to tell. It's just a city skyline with balloons. Anyway, it's tough to tell, but he did a really, really good job with it. It's watercolor.
Oh,
Um,
oh, cool. What was it?
so,
What
oh,
happened?
the photo of him. It's his football picture in his football
Oh,
jersey.
got it.
This is the do not enter sign I stole many, many years ago
Yeah.
from some street somewhere in a drunken binge.
I had a friend who did that. He had tons of them. The big ones too. Like they would take up like half the room. Huge. Huge.
Oof. Um, the one sign that I really wish I still had, somebody stole it from me. I always had it on my bathroom door at every apartment I lived in. Uh, it was taken from a recycling center, and it just said "No illegal dumping." And I always had that.
It's a good one.
I had that one in my bathroom at every apartment I lived in. Then I had people over and drinking, and somebody just like, "Oh, this looks cool. I better take it." Mm.
So someone stole what you stole from you?
Yeah.
Oh man,
So what the hell?
the heck.
Yeah. I think it would be like impossible for people to like steal anything anymore because everybody's got a camera going. Like
Seems like it.
yeah, I mean, which good, right? Good.
Sure.
Um, I was almost in one of those things. This is my grievance. I was almost in one of those things where I was checking, I had to go to the grocery store and pick up milk because we were out. And I picked up a handful of other things too, nothing major. Like $30 worth of food, nothing special. But as I'm going through the self-checkout and I'm with my son, I'm listening to this guy berate the customer service person because they won't sell him any cigarettes because he doesn't have an ID on him. And he was like, this is not even my grievance. I just thought of this. He's just like cursing at them and yelling at them. And I was just like, in my mind, I said, I'm going to count to 15 seconds. And if this guy doesn't shut up, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to drag him out because he was like just being foul. And it was like these like there was two women behind the counter. They're like, we can't sell them to you. It's not our option, and they weren't like he wasn't being threatening or anything like that, but he was just raising his voice. And I was just like, okay, you got like 15 seconds. And then finally one of them said, you need to go or we're calling the cops and we'll trespass you out of here. And then the guy stomped off. But I was like
Was
this
he 18?
close.
How old do you have to be for cigarettes? 18?
18, yeah. I
He
was
didn't
this
look 18.
close. Yeah, no, but there's a law that basically says you have to scan the person's ID
I
to
see.
make the sale, and it's just like,
Yeah, so it's not a judgment call. It's basically a
yeah,
process.
it's a process, So I
Probably
mean,
fine.
and he was
You
like,
ever
well,
buy
just
alcohol underage?
no, you have to be 21.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Well, and like he was yelling at him saying, well,
No, have
just
you, just you personally,
me
have you ever bought
personally,
beer or anything under when you were under 21?
I gave money to people that got me beer.
Oh, you never tried. I bet you looked old enough so you could buy it.
I always had a baby face, man.
We had a friend who
I
basically had a beard at 18.
no,
He,
I mean, we
he would
never.
buy us the cactus coolers or whatever they
Oh,
were.
nice. Yeah.
What was that? Were they cactus cooler? I can't remember. It was like an Australian wine cooler. Wine coolers
Yeah,
were a can.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but
God, what
my
was
big thing,
all those
my
names?
thing was that I worked at several different restaurants that had beer on tap, and when we closed, we would sit there and we drink that, and then um, we would bring uh, like basically now we would call them, sternos. We would call them, what was it? The water cups that seal, Stanleys. Now people call them Stanleys, but we had those, and we'd fill like two or three of those with beer out of the tap, and then we'd drink that,
California cooler.
California cooler.
What was the one from Australia? I'm sure it wasn't from Australia, but it had an Australian like look and a name. What was
Boone's
that?
Farm wine.
No, that stuff's awful.
Um, I'm
What
so
was
old.
wine?
I remember the 2 liters of Purple Passion. Like it was like this.
Purple Passion?
It was like 3 or 4% alcohol. That was just basically it was like just a giant wine cooler fruit drink that had vodka in it or something.
Purple Passion. I don't know that one.
I remember it was in 2 liters. It was
Oh,
like it was the craziest thing.
I want to know what that was. What was it? Not the California cooler. Ugh. I hate thinking about something I can't remember. Bartles and James. Um, dang, what was it?
Is the purple? Uh,
It had like an Australian brand.
yep. Carbonated wine-based drink sold in 2 liters. Purple Passion.
I don't know that one. Zima killed the wine cooler industry.
Right? No.
Yeah. After Zima, would you remember anything after Zima?
I mean, I mean, wine coolers were weird, right? I mean, but um, no. So hey, my very quick grievance. So
Got to get it out.
it's really quick. Like I've told you, like there's like these Facebook market groups that I'm involved in, and then there's one that's just about miniatures, RPG miniatures, and every once in a while, like I'll see somebody selling something that I want, and like I and so basically this guy had a lot, of this, and he was selling them relatively cheap, something that normally if I bought each one separately, to track them all down, it would be like $90, but the guy wanted like $40 for it. And so I said, I'll buy that from you. And then he said, hey, take a look at my other stuff. If you see anything here you want. And I looked through his other stuff, and there was another like, 10 items or something like that. So it was like, so ultimately it was like $75 plus, $8 shipping, because miniatures are super light and you can put a ton of them in a box. And I said, cool, man, this will be awesome. Some of these minis will come in perfect for my D&D session coming up. My D&D session coming up this weekend. This is like 2 weeks ago. PayPal the guy the money. He's just like one of those things where it's like he sends me a picture of the label that's attached to the box, and he's like, I'm gonna get this in the mail or whatever. And I was like, cool. And he's in like Virginia, so I'm like, plenty of time to get here. And so then he doesn't go on Thursday. He doesn't go on Wednesday. He's like, yeah, I just didn't get a chance. Doesn't go on Thursday. Friday's the 4th. And I was like, well, and he's like, I really was hoping to get those, by next weekend. It's kind of important. I mean, I'd like to have them for my D&D session. Not a huge deal. Whatever. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, I'll get up early on Saturday and I'll take him to the post office. Well, he gave me the tracking number, and I see that the tracking number is still just label created on Sunday. So obviously the guy didn't make it. And I was like, that's fine, whatever. So I reached out on Monday and I said, well, it's like, hey, did you drop that off at the thing? And he's like, I haven't had a chance to, but I got the week off, and I'm heading there. I'm gonna head to the post office today. I'll get it in the mail. And then on Tuesday, I saw that it still hadn't been sent. And I was just like, hey, just checking in on this. Did you get to the post office? Because I don't see the label. It's changed at all. And he was just like, oh yeah, just stuff came up, but and then he actually said, he's like, yeah, I mean, I had to go in for a shift for work, and I was like, you already said you didn't have to work this week, but that's fine, whatever, just don't really care. And then he was like, but it's gonna get there today on Tuesday. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I was like, there's still
Ticket, it didn't.
no, no. And then today he was like, it didn't get there yesterday. I'm so sorry, but I'm heading to the post office today to get there. And of course he made it today, and it's just like, be delivered on Monday. It's just like
Oh,
if you had done it
shoot.
like any other day before
Yeah.
that, it's just kind of
Some people
like,
are just like fatalistic with that stuff, Like they know they got to do it, but they don't.
yeah. Well, and here's the thing. You when you make the label and you stick it on the box, you can go to your post office and just put the thing up
Yeah, just drop it off.
and just
You
leave it
don't
in
even
there.
talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or you could call the post office and say, yeah, could you come and pick this up? And they'll come and pick it
Amazon has
up.
spoiled you.
You know,
Used to be like weeks and months before you would get shit on eBay.
4 to 6 weeks. When you
Yeah.
order when you want to order something from the catalog, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was forever. Amazon has made an unnatural expectation that everything is done in 2 days. Matilda Bay was the name of those coolers. Do you remember those? Matilda Bay?
Yes, I remember Matilda
Matilda
Bays.
Bays. We called them Matilda Bays.
Um,
It was many a good night with the Matilda Bay.
I
I'm
remember.
swimming in the Matilda Bay tonight.
Have you ever watched any of the I'm sure you've seen the movie, but if you had, and if you haven't, you should see it because it's a good movie. Catch Me If You Can.
Yes.
Okay. So that guy in real life made a living of going to different like banks, and he would go and just give speeches and talk about what he did and talk about his life and the things that he did and everything like that. And I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but I stumbled upon like he went on Johnny Carson, and he like went on there and then did it was a pretty good interview. He talked for like 20 minutes, and he was talking about how all the stuff he did that um like now it makes so much sense. Like it was so easy. Like he would talk about like, oh, it's just like, his ability to like, he said when you make a fake check, he said you always just have to make sure that one side's perforated so it looks like a check, and like, that's one of the things they always check for. And then he said, and the big thing is that because um he knew how the uh the numbers on the bottom work, they would designate like which banking system they were in because the banking districts were separated into like seven different districts. And depending upon the routing number, it would determine where that bank was located. So if he was on the West Coast, he would pick, he would do a cashier's check for a bank that was on the East Coast. And this was back when like
So it would have to fly.
they would have to fly.
You have to
And
fly it to get the
and
money.
he's basically said I'd have 6 days
Out of town.
to get out of town before
Mhm.
that check would bounce, and then they come looking for me. But yeah, he would like go in, all the fake IDs, and he's like, "Oh, I need to write this cashier's check for 10,000." I mean, now it's all digital, right? I
Yeah,
mean, they know exactly how much money is in the account and whether or not it'll go through. But yeah, write a check for $10,000, get the money. Yeah, and it was just kind of like, I mean, how much fraud was going on back then with that stuff?
probably so much.
Yeah. Um, he yeah, no, just
So you're getting your Lord of the Ring collector's edition with a table
no,
confrontation, Lord of the Ring confrontation.
no. When
Like
does
the
that come out?
so
Is that, did they
it's
launch
out
that?
now. Yeah, you should bring it up actually. Can you bring it up? I'll talk about it for a minute.
Well, Chad's here, and then we're gonna talk
No,
about
but it's
RPGs.
okay. We can talk about things I like to talk about
Well,
for
why
a
can't
minute.
I talk about things that I
I
like
don't
to
get
talk
you can
about?
talk for like 20 minutes about your agreements with
Oh my gosh, and you
your
don't even pay
eBay
attention.
shipping.
You're busy
I paid
chatting.
attention.
You're
I paid
busy
attention and
chatting.
I
You're busy
conversed.
chatting with the people about other
Yes,
things.
I'm multitasking.
Whatever. You're not. You're the worst.
You know.
Lord
So
of the Rings, the Competition Ultimate Edition,
share your
800.
wait, share your screen.
Why do I have to share my screen? Why can't you bring this up and you share your damn screen? Why do I always have to share my screen? God, $858,000. What did
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
say?
good.
I said it was like,
3,507. But only 170 of the table were sold. Or like go down to the actual table.
why would you want to? I just can't imagine spending $120 on this game. Base and table leg sold separately.
Table leg. Sold separately.
Somebody must have
Actually, go to
sent.
the rewards. Go to the premium pledge, standard pledge, and collector's pledge. There you go. Premium pledge 120, standard pledge 50. I mean, they're painted, right? Like that makes it, I guess
Remember
the
what I said it was gonna be $1,000, and you scoffed. You scoffed.
I did
When it,
not. I think you sure you said 1,000?
I said $1,000, and you scoffed.
I
I
did.
was you
2,000,
scoffed
I'm still scoffing. But you can get but here's the
162
thing. That's
times.
2,199 is doesn't have the table. That's just the box. That's just the with the drawer. That's like you can add on the table and leg as an add-on. Like that's just yeah, there you go. But
What
what's
if
the
you just
add-on?
wanted the legs and not the game?
I just want that leg, a single leg.
Just-
Can I get a leg, table leg, please?
Another $500 if you want the.
So somebody has asked that question then that, hey, I just want that table leg, man.
Well, I'm sure they're thinking I'll come up with my own wooden.
I'll come up with my own gaming hobbits.
Well, no, I mean like come up with their own wooden
But
wooden wooden base for it.
what's the full all in with the table leg?
Well,
Like add that to your pledge real quick.
I'm not. No, I'm not even touching that. I mean, I'm not gonna. It'd be another 500
You're not
bucks.
checking it. I want to know how much the whole all.
$2,800, 27.99.
Where is that?
Well, it's 21.99 here, and
Oh, and the
the
table leg is 500.
500. Yeah,
Got it.
so 27.98. No, 27. Yeah, you just it's a lot of
I'm
money.
curious. I wonder how many table legs have been sold.
But how many plays are you going to get out of it?
But the 3D printed game board, 3D hand painted 3D game board is $1,300. Or what was it?
Well, that's part of this though. You get that.
Like, are you going to play that twice and then just never play it again?
The ultimate, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It's a collector's thing, right?
It reeks of the Civil War chess set to me.
The
Yes,
Civil War chess.
I agree.
What was that? What was that? Who made that?
The Franklin
Something.
Mint or
The Franklin
whatever.
Mint. The Franklin. Yeah, it reeks of Frank. It doesn't reek of it. I don't want to say. Look, I'm not trying to insult this thing. I think it's a cool idea. It has a limited audience, of course, but I'm glad that it's made. It's cool.
I mean, I don't know how much it costs to make each one of those, but usually I it's that's in materials and the processes to make that, it's over $1,000. Like all the stuff, it's over $1,000. I mean, so
You
I
think
mean,
so?
oh,
Does
easily.
this exist outside of a render?
Yeah, they have one. I think they have one proof of concept one that they
Is it
have
in
a
a
video of.
video?
Yeah, it's in the video.
Who? A Ghost Galaxy.
I
Okay.
don't want you to get lose your wait, don't lose your monetization. Or
Oh, yeah.
mute it. I think it's the audio that gotcha.
But Ghost Galaxy, is that Christian Peterson thing? Is
Yeah,
that
that's Christian Peterson's company.
that's almost $1 million? So many backers. Do you think a
So I mean,
majority of
this
those?
this video this video does look like it's an actual thing and not a render. I could be wrong though.
Yeah. Is the majority of people buying the table, or are they just buying the boxed edition?
I mean, I don't know. I
I bought
can't
the
tell.
boxed edition.
You gave him $120?
I did.
That's
It's a
Javier
steep.
Bardem as Aragorn.
It's just it is Javier Bardem. Is this AI? This is come on. Is this AI? Hold on.
Oh, there's only four. So
Uh, it's got to be. Well, maybe not AI. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to accuse. No Jack Hughes. No
Jacques.
Jack Hughes.
Oh
Jacques.
man.
But it looks fairly nice. Looks really
I
nice.
mean, I just I remember playing it a couple of times and I thought that was neat. But it's a two-player game. When am I ever going to play a two-player game? Good for them. I
Is
hope
one
they.
of the pledge levels you get to play with Javier Bardem?
Yeah.
So that was Aragorn.
Yeah.
He goes heads or tails.
Yeah. Heads or tails. Um. Anyway. Um. There's also. I mean, what were the big um what were the big launches on this most recent Tuesday on the old Kickstarter? Uh, let's see here.
I'm sure you can go to the crowdfunding countdown on Board Game Geek.
Games sorted by. I'll just go to
Well,
Kickstarter.
share your screen then. We need to share the Kickstarter.
Joy.
Sorted Covenant trading card game. The Forsaken. No, this is garbage. Mythforge, Realms of. I mean, why am I talking? You guys can't see it.
Share your screen.
Why don't you share your screen? You're the one. You're the one that's got your
You the
board
one
game geek.
you wanted to. What are you talking about?
You run it, the thing with the whatever.
The thing with the buttons
Yeah, with the stuff.
and the
All
things.
right, hold on.
While he's doing that, Scott, do these still exist on Geek Market?
Yes, they
Are
do.
they gone?
No, we got them.
What?
We just found these in the garage. Like I've got a stack of like 30.
Are they the original logo?
Yeah. Well, some of them are. Some of them are not. But when we got to play in Oathsworn, I was like, man, these are super useful.
This is projects ending soon. That doesn't help me.
No, just say see all. Go to see all.
Oh, it looks like Sail Legacy ponied
go to
up
the
some
bottom.
dough to get promoted by you.
Loaf.
Smart.
Loaf.
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 No, it's loaf.
Oh,
Loaf.
oh.
Baker's trying to work as little as possible without getting fired.
I'm actually curious about that now that you've pointed that out. What is that game? Loaf. I like that name. It's so great.
Loaf. It's got two meanings. Are they still? They're still. Black Rose Wars is still making stuff.
I thought about backing it again, but then I came to my senses. I've got
the last one I got was the 2-player edition.
I've got so much Black Rose Wars.
Yeah. Hey, there's an Isofarian Guard expansion.
Man, look at that! 2,965 backers. Man, that game is a beast. It's got so much stuff in it.
Yeah, I'm looking at my giant cube right now that I've never opened.
Your 20-pound, 30-pound cube. Yeah.
Yeah, that I've never opened.
I have played it.
I mean, I guess I play tested it for him a couple of times, gave him my feedback. So I guess that's kind of like playing it. 4th edition Machina Arcana.
Holy 4th edition.
Jeez. I think I sold my second edition.
I have 2 or 3 of those editions, and I've never.
I think I sold that a couple. Sold my second edition a while back.
Is it dwindling? Like how many people is it now? I'm not trying to throw shade here.
33 backers.
That seems like a lot.
And I did a video for that a million years ago. For the first one.
What it says +1 more? What does that mean?
I don't know.
What?
Oh, Vivarium.
Vivarium
must be an expansion or something.
That's
Even Deeper Regrets.
I backed that.
Did you like the base?
I thought you were like that game was okay when you told me.
Exactly, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
But I backed it because I like the art.
Fair.
Grindel.
Hide the Body.
Beach
Broadland, an English river cruise game. Now, so this is one of those things where I backed their reprint of Divine Right, and it's fantastic. I mean, it's Divine Right, so it's a million rules, and who knows when and if I'll ever play it. And then they're like, oh, and we're going to do the expansion to Divine Right in an upcoming Kickstarter, but we're first going to do this one, Broadland, the Norfolk Broads
Challenge. There's a game about Virginia. Yeah!
Yes. An English river cruise game. I mean, I got my email about it. And I was like, that game looks
good,
not great. I could be wrong.
You could,
but it looks not great. And judging by the response they're getting, it's not great.
Yeah, that's too bad.
What's the deal with cats and cucumbers?
Like, what's the deal?
What's going on with cats and cucumbers?
Yeah.
Clank Catacombs.
You can't make me care about a Clank game.
The Clank Catacombs is pretty fun, actually.
Far, far out. Find your destiny in a galaxy filled with strange life forms on faraway planets. Yeah, I don't know. But Sail Legacy, that's like that's a big thing.
Trick taking, baby. Trick taking.
2-player trick taking.
2-player trick taking.
So the big winner this week is Loaf. Call your game store and ask for it.
Loaf.
Are you getting Loaf, fan?
Are you getting Loaf? Come on.
So here's a card game about collectively baking bread while trying to make others do all the work. You're all employees
Stop
in
sharing
the
your screen.
well, I'm just reading it in the loaf bakery, but you're just here to get paid with as little effort as possible. When it gets to baking bread, you rather let others do the work. However, you don't want your bosses to catch you loafing.
Loafering.
If you collectively don't bake enough bread, the lazy among you might just get fired. Every round, players get an order with the amount of bread they collectively need to bake. Each baker secretly contributes a work card from their hand of cards valued 0 through 11. Failing to meet the order means the baker who contributed the least loses reputation with the bosses. Otherwise, the baker who contributed the most will gain reputation. Once 5 orders have failed or 5 orders have succeeded, the baker with the most value left in their hand wins the game. However, if the group fails 5 orders, all bakers with a negative reputation are fired before scoring. It's kind of clever. That's like pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just like
I like the cover.
you have to make sure you have the cards in your hand have to be have to they're left at the end, get all the bonuses. I mean, that's kind of cool little uh push your luck subterfuge semi co-op type thing. Be fun
Someone
for like
says it has a name with a triple meaning. Loaf is a unit of bread usually sold this way. A loaf of bread. Loaf, to not
thanks.
work, relax, lounge, take it easy. To loaf on the job. And loaf, L is French for the, when used with nouns starting with vowels, and an oaf is a big, clumsy, slow-witted person. And even though one word is French, known for their bakeries, and one word is English, it combines to mean the French buffoon.
Yeah.
I'm a big language geek, and this sort of thing makes me happy. Good job.
Did they get that from AI?
I think that's a funny name. I like it. I'm gonna back it. Backing.
uh
Is it all our crowdfunding countdown work?
you know
Where's Joe to talk about Sale Legacy?
well, I told him we talk about it on the show. I mentioned it, but I think it's his birthday today or something, so he's probably not
Oh
all
yeah, he
he's not
wants
all
to.
jazzed to you know come on here and talk to us, so which is understandable. um what else is new and exciting? I
Found out today that there's a reverse tariff on Canada to the US.
Oh,
Basically, when you buy your Board Game Geek stuff, like now they charge 25% tariff on your total. It's like, what?
so if you buy,
Are
like,
they
if
doing
you're in
it?
Canada and you order it,
If you're in Canada and you order from our website, there's a 25% reverse tariff on top of the customs duties. Stupid, so annoying.
that is
Yeah. Are they just trying to
annoying.
just destroy all commerce? And by they,
Destroy all commerce.
yeah, super frustrating.
Super frustrating. But
They have the Goblin Laundromat promos for Laof and the
for Laof,
medieval ones promo cards.
so it's not a serious game, is what you're saying?
Doesn't look that serious.
um, yeah. Well, I mean, this is where Chad's got something he wants to share with me.
Put in the work, huh?
Yeah. Chad's my new favorite Alaboomer.
No, okay.
Let me do the share thing. Where the frick is it at? I don't like Zoom anymore. I used to love Zoom.
I
Now I don't
backed
like it.
Laof.
You backed Laof?
I did.
How much did that run you?
$40. 40 pounds.
40 bones.
Does
40
that
euros.
include shipping?
Probably not. And probably doesn't include any tariff. But I do like that. I like the theme of this, and I like the art.
Well, like I said, it's clever, right?
Yeah,
you know,
it's
it's
clever.
like, well,
Caught my eye.
we need to make 10 loaves of bread. What card you gonna put in? You know, it's like
And if you
if we
don't,
don't.
do we all lose if we don't all put in?
Well, no, it's like if you don't make it, then it's like basically the person, it's like then you're gonna get fired if you don't actually complete. It's kind of like the old uh what was that? Cutthroat Caverns, where like you had, if you didn't kill the monster, it was gonna kill all of you.
Kills everybody.
But but the person who did the last point of damage got the victory
Gets the
points for
rewards.
killing gets the victory points for
I
killing
never
the
played that
monster.
game, but I knew about it.
It was great. It was great. But it had the same problem that Deep Sea Diver had, where like if you weren't gonna win, you were just like,
Just
Oh
tank.
yeah,
all right,
I'm just
well,
diving to the bottom.
yeah, I'm not gonna win, so I hope
I'm-
we all die.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm picking up
Take all the-
13 treasures.
it's just you need to keep everybody close to winning in those games. But if one person they just sink the rest of the game. Um, that's the same problem, like I say, with every single push your luck game. You eventually end up in a spot where it's like I
You're talking
can't
about like
win
Flip
it.
7.
Yeah, it's like I can't win unless I just give me the cards and hopefully I don't bust, because that's the only way I can win.
Right.
That removes a large chunk of the enjoyment out of the situation, which is unfortunate, so but what are you gonna do? Come on, why aren't you sharing, Chad?
What? Okay, I'll do. So, by the way, I did play that Moon Colony Bloodbath over a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
That
fun.
game is brutal.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
it's meant to be.
And Greed
You
was
can't win it.
brutal. Greed was brutal too. Back in the day. Do you remember? If you remember Greed Incorporated? I mean, that was brutal too, which it supposedly is based upon.
Yeah.
But nobody cared about that game.
No. I think because it was a theme.
Corporation.
Okay. So this is the what I would look at game, aka this is what Lance makes me do every year for Gen Con.
I don't make you do it. You just can't stop yourself.
So this is the stuff. So this is biased on stuff I would be interested in, but I think I've got a pretty good nose for this stuff. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't match with people out there that may be watching it, but this is
Before you do this, I need to ask you a question. Have you played any Delta Green?
Yes.
Is it? I know it's like kind of in the same like world, like as far as a horror game goes, but is it mechanically wise? Is it close to Call of Cthulhu, or is it its own thing?
The old edition is. The old edition is based off the BR it's based off the Cthulhu, the BRP rules.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But they changed it. But I'm guessing that things changed.
Yeah. That new edition that you see like out in stores or whatever, they've got their own little engine based on that. I've played it once, that version, like a long time ago, but I haven't played it recently. So it's very, very good. The big variance from the old edition to the new edition. The old edition was like very early 80s Reaganomics sort of mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And the new one has brought it up to the modern day.
Got it. Yeah, I had a couple of people tell me about a couple of the adventures that they have that are just absolutely amazing, and I wanna get them, but then I was like, but I probably then need to get the Delta Green rules, and then it's another fucking rule set that I gotta learn, and then I gotta teach.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then so like because I love running Call of Cthulhu, and like when October will be here before I know it.
Mhm.
In October, we meet every weekend and we play a Call of Cthulhu scenario that I write up. And I've written up another one. But like I've had a lot of people tell me Delta Green is really, really good. I've read several Mothership campaigns that look really, really, and Mothership looks like
Mhm.
just it's such that system, man, oh man, it's like 16 pages of rules, but it has everything
Yeah.
you need. I mean, it's just, and like I love. Okay, so sorry, everybody, this is role playing stuff, and Scott will probably tune out, but the mechanism of panic
Mhm.
in in Mothership works so much better than sanity rules. I wish I could come up with a way to incorporate that in a way that in Call of Cthulhu, like basically every time somebody feels like a situation would cause them stress, they just take a stress point. And basically that's your experience for that session. Like, so if you end up at the end of the session with like 10 stress, you're going to get 10 experience from that thing. But each time you take stress, you have to roll a 20-sided die and you have to roll higher than your stress level. Like, so so if your stress is 5, you have to get a 6 or better, or else you have a panic attack and something bad happens.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that basically the players can give themselves stress. Like they can say this would stress me out. Like that would and because it's a risk reward aspect instead of just a keeper saying, okay, yeah, you saw a dead body, make a sanity roll.
I mean, the it's a good thing, but I would say you'd need to qualify it with the fact that if you have like a min-max grognard type of person that's just there to kill people and get experience, to kill things and get loot, they're never going to go, oh, this isn't stressing me out at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's you have to be people that are open to that idea. So
yeah, I like that. Anyway, and I don't really like cult KULT.
mhm.
I don't really like, I mean it's got some neat things going on, but too much. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to pick up Delta Green and try it out.
Mhm.
Um but anyway.
Yeah.
Who does that? Like Arc Dream Studios or
Art
something
Green,
like
yeah.
that?
Yep.
Yeah. Did they
Yeah.
do
It's
any
Shane
do they
Ivy. It's Shane Ivy, Dennis Detweiler, John Tynes does some stuff.
yeah,
Adam Scott Glancy, Kenneth Hite does some stuff for it as well.
got it. Do
So,
they do anything else?
so I was talking about that a few weeks ago. So Art Dream got the license for Glenn Cook's Black Company. They're putting that out. Uh,
Hmm.
that
I
is.
I have that old third edition book that's worth a bunch of money.
Mhm. Um, what else does they do? But Delta Green is their big thing. They they put out a lot of stuff in the past, but like nothing because there's so many people into Delta Green right now that that's pretty much their bread and butter. But and they'll do occasionally they've done things like they did a graphic novel version of The King in Yellow that like sold out instantly. Um, and it's just like they're very, very
Who was this?
is Art Green.
Mark Dream. They did a King in Yellow
Yeah.
book.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Like it
like
was not game oriented. It was just King in Yellow. And they did and it just sold out instantly. It was crazy. Because like
like the actual Robert Chambers novel.
mhm,
Neat.
yeah, they're very much I mean, 99% of their stuff is going to be cosmic horror related. Like they did stuff that wasn't, but a lot of that stuff is not currently in print. Like they did Monsters and Other Terrible Things, which I think was fantastic. They did a game called Puppet Land, which I thought was hilarious, where it was like you're like the old Punch and Judy things from from Europe, and you role played in that universe. And I mean they've done like very weird esoteric things, and but if you're into like looking at that and reading that and just maybe not even playing it that often, but having it, and they're a really neat bunch of guys, and I've talked to them a bunch of times. I've done interviews with them when we used to do the Gen Con stuff, and I've gotten to know Shane over the years, and he's a really great guy. So, yeah, he's a really good guy. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a weird
sidetrack. All
little
right,
sidetrack.
Yeah, what do you got?
Okay, so this would be on my list. So when I'd leave, to go do my shopping, I often have a list just like this, and I break it down by booth. So if you are going to Gen Con, there's what the thing is. Okay, so number one, basically I went through alphabet, and so there is a couple of board game things related here, but mostly it's going to be RPG and miniatures and stuff like that. So number one was AEW games. Hold on, let me move this. Is this going to be? Can I shift this? Is that still sharing?
Yep.
Okay. So it's going to be AAW games. This I don't know a whole lot about this one. This was Ruthmark. It's a 5e for. I just thought it was super duper cool. I like the art on it. I was reading some of that stuff. So I want to go check that out for sure. I really like small published games.
So I don't want to shy you away from anything like that,
okay.
but that one that was his like because he had that super successful Dro book AEW did. And he had another one which was like one-page adventures that was really,
Rise
really
of the
good.
Drow. Yeah.
The Roltmork one, just skip it, man. It is so just it is.
Is it generic?
It's very, very generic.
Okay.
When you page through it, you will see it's just like big giant margins, almost no writing, lots of cool images and stuff like that, but there's nothing crunchy in there at all. I mean,
see, that's good to know. See, if you're looking through this, I'm like, oh, that looks pretty sweet. And I was just reading through it. But like I said, this is not what I'm throwing down money for. This is what I'm going to go evaluate and then buy.
So, yeah, I mean, I would avoid.
Okay.
In my opinion, but that's all me.
Yeah. Next is Artron's game, John's Guide. Which one is this? This is John's. So on this one, if it is
everything got really small.
Is the font small on this end?
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
I've got it on the 38. So the reason I'm interested in this, so this company did, if you do go to their shop, they did a game about Dante's Inferno. They did some books about this right here, Dante's Guide to Hell, which is like pretty much solidly sold out. And so I'm very, very interested in this because I looked through the books, and these books are freaking beautiful. They're very great. I don't know how they read or I don't know how they play, but when I flip through them at the store, they look really good. So it made me interested in this one. So they're doing a new series here. Where did it go? So it's this Guide to the Armageddon. So it's going to be like apocalypse level stuff. So I'm very, very interested in that. So just to see what that is, or to get my hands on it and take a look at it. So, and they also do this Lex Arcana. There's a bunch of, so if it's like Roman Legion sort of fantasy stuff, but I'm not into that. So, number 3, this is that, what is this? This is Tales from the Gods. This was weird. So this one it's a solo role-playing game, and I geek out about solo role-playing games. And so it's like, instead of like, you're a vampire over 1,000
I was just gonna say
you're just playing a deity, and you're like, how does this evolve during how mankind? I said, oh, that's super neat. So I definitely want to check that out. The art in it looks pretty neat, in which I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for aesthetics. But I would buy this. Just
So is
basically,
this a prompt game where you just read prompts and fill it
it
out?
actually uses the same system as Thousand Year Old Vampire, which is
Yeah.
going to be you play with like two 10-sided dice,
Prompts, so you go forward and backwards.
go forward and backward, and by the time you reach the end of the book, that's the end of the story.
Right. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's all
So,
about the prompts, right?
uh-huh.
That's
But I would pick that up.
Is it the
It's
same?
all about, it's all about the
developer?
pennium.
It's not the same dude, but they use the
Yeah.
same sort
Same
of system.
system. I want to see that 500-year-old vampire.
Oh, that was on the list, but it's not on the list.
Is that a Gen Con?
Yeah, it'll be a Gen Con.
I have to get that.
But
Because
yeah,
it's a multiplayer version of 1,000-Year-Old Vampire,
interesting.
from what I understand.
So this was Equilibrium USG. So this one, getting it to pull up. Oh my gosh. Cloud Flare on a tiny.
Oh, that's something I've never seen before. What is that saying?
Press and hold the window.
No, that can't possibly be right.
Okay, so all of a sudden they're off my list.
Don't do that, because it looked like it was gonna like a hack.
Yeah.
Basically
So
saying
anyway.
press and hold the Windows R and then paste something into your window machine.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I no longer wish to have this.
No, if they're gonna pull bullshit, there's 38 other things I can go look at. This one, I think I love the art on this one. When I was just going through the list,
nice.
I'd go jack all about this, but the art looks awesome.
Fate of the Norns.
Yep, that's a very, very good system, and it's very, very cool.
Yeah, I'm just like, F me, this art.
F me.
You're gonna draw me in on this. So
yeah, looks good.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. So I would definitely go take a look at that. Next, Free League, because you can't go to Gen Con without talking to all the guys at Free League. They're awesome. And they make so much good stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of Vason. I'm a big fan of...
I just found out it's pronounced Vison.
Is it Vison? Well, yeah. I'm a big fan of Vison. If you have not checked out the Moria book they did for...
Moria is amazing.
That it's up for an ENI this year, which it's rightfully so. It is like
the Moria book.
So they also have the rights for they got work with Francisco Napoleon.
Oh, the One Ring role RPG.
The one, yeah. So they did last summer. They released they have their own system, and then they have a 5e system for Lord of the Rings. The one that they do for their own system, I think, is the far better book in terms of like Moria lore, because Francisco just goes all out on those books, and it's so good. That whole series of lore and the art in it, and so good. But yes, I'm a big fan of Vison. I like the alien stuff that they put out. I'm not going to get the second ed alien stuff. Free League also, they were the guys that distributed Morkborg once upon a time. They worked with Stockholm Cartel, so you got to give them credit for that. So they're on top of it, and that now they're doing Dragon's Bane, and the art. I'm probably not going to play that one, but the art on that one looks fantastic. I love.
There's a Blade Runner RPG.
Yeah. It's very, very. It's nothing like. It's very, very. They've only got a couple of products for it. There's not a ton of it.
Yeah.
The Vison, that one campaign book for the mountains or whatever. The tale beyond the mountain or something like that. That book's great.
I've not played it because I can't get enough people to sign onto the idea, but I'll literally buy every single book it comes out. So
yeah, it's so good.
So next is going to be, this is Gila RPGs. If you pronounce it Gila or Gila, I don't know. I've had my eye on this one for a little bit. This one's called Rune. It's basically for a GM and one player. And so it's very, very tight. It's basically if you're a fan of like Elden Ring or Dark Souls. So the big catch on this one is you actually when you have play combat, you use miniatures, but it's played on like a like a little 3x3 grid. It's like it's very, very simple, but it's very, very
Like a
intense.
tactical
Yeah,
combat.
you're not running around, like you're fighting this guy, and the stuff you're doing, you're just shifting and fighting and shifting and fighting, and it's very, very small. You can play it on like a coffee table. So,
Elden Ring, your favorite video game, Scott.
I know, it's my favorite.
but I've had my eye on to pick this up. I may just order it online and just get it. So
he's out of the country until 7/24.
yeah. Next up, Goodman Games, because you have to go to Goodman Games.
Yeah.
If not, to get your rink your reincarnated books, or I always like to go there to buy, because Joe brings those old rotating books with all the Appendix N stuff. He goes and
I picked up a couple of Appendix N books last time
he
I was
goes
there.
and he gets all the Appendix N stuff, and he just keeps them in those old drugstore rotating book things. So you got to get that. This one was interesting. Big Book of Bads. I don't know a whole lot of that one. But it's just, I was like, oh, that looks funny. Is it like a big book of just boss monsters? Is it
the slime creature in the middle is funny looking?
Yeah. And plus, like, we play a lot of like RPGs with kids here, because we just like to get kids in. We just don't play with adults. We play with kids. We play with families. We do all this stuff just to get more and more people involved, because we think playing with more people is better than less people. And so sometimes this comes in handy. Also, like in this vein, the Exalted Funeral just put out the Land of Eam series, and it uses a lot of very similar cartoony art. It's like the Muppets, the D&D game. So it's like, so that's why that's on the list. So I would go look at that.
Did you back their Monty Python book?
I did not. I
think they'll have that. If
I got the Monty Python book. It's really funny.
I want to get if I ever get the notion, I want to get the Vashisla, what is it? Vashisla whatever. The game, the actual board game that comes with it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because if you're just hurling cows at each other's castle, I would get that. Impact Miniatures. So this is a printer, I think, out of Chicago, up in that area. The reason
Chicago.
Chicago. I think that's where they're from. They're up in the Midwest. The reason I like going there is because of this guy. His name's Herberto, and he did the miniatures for like Wonderland's War. He did the miniature. He does like a crap ton of like work in the tabletop industry. But this company signs on to sell his Patreon work, which is amazing because he makes like little Marines. He's got little Star Wars guys. He basically gets our skirts around. Like, he does a lot of like D&D figures. I have a set that he did of the old D&D cartoon series with Venger and Hank the Ranger and all that stuff, which I would stop by and I'd just pick up a bunch of miniatures. So, because I think they're cute and you can put them on your desk and they're great. So that's why I stop there every year. IPR, because IPR, no, not there. Indie Press Revolution, because you just do it. But IPR, I think, is one of the best booths there that sells indie RPGs. This year, I would be picking this one up because it's a box set game. It's a 1 to 2 player horror survival game, which is great. I like that idea. It's kind of like the Halloween movie in a box for like role playing. So I think that's super duper cool, and I would be picking that up this year.
Who, if anybody, will have Mythic Bastion Land there? Probably nobody.
It is getting if Exalted. I didn't check and see if Exalted Funeral had a booth there. I think it's getting sold there. Also, no, Plus One EXP is distributing it. You can actually, I don't know if Plus One's going to be there. I'll have to check the list, but they are the people that are distributing the Kickstarter in the United States, and if they had any, they would bring it to the booth. And if Tony is still there, if anybody knows Tony V, he is a great guy as well. So I like him a lot. So
+1 EXP.
+1 EXP, yeah. It's their icon is like a little knight, and on the shield it's plus, and then the sword is the 1. So Limithron, pirate board.
+1 experience.
Yeah.
All right. I'm go ahead. Keep talking. I'm gonna see if.
Yeah. So pirate board. So this is Morkborg, but with pirates. So I did the Kickstarter for this one. I'm a huge fan of this game. I like the art. It's very free formed. It's very kitschy, and I just love this. And it's another small publisher, also distributed by Free League. So they got that going for them.
The Pirate Borg is way better than Morkborg. I'm just gonna say
it's you could have more fun with it. Morkborg is very dark, and it's very
but Morkborg doesn't even feel like a game to me. I just
it depends on who runs it. Really, it can. Morkborg, it's like one of those things. Do you want to sit there and roll characters, or can you get around? Like, I did a con game where they gave me a pre-gen where the guy had 1 hit point, and he was the only guy that lived all the way through. And I was like, how the hell did that happen? I have no idea. But that's the way it was. So so it's just the way it is sometimes.
It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. Magpie Games. They do the Root RPG. And this is another thing I collect. I collect everything for the Root RPG.
They do the
fun.
Yeah, Root is actually really, really fun. So in the board game, you play one of the factions. In the RPG, you play just an animal. In the what's the faction that's trying to save the forest? Yeah, you're trying to save the forest, and you're going up against the cats. That's pretty much the thing with the RPG. And you can have like an opossum ranger or something like that, and it's just goofy. It's just goofy fun is all it is. And you can take the Root box game, the board game. You can use that as the map, and use the meeples, and use that as like your strategic map. It is just super, super cool. Super duper cool. They also
Exalted Funeral is not going to be a Gen Con. That's weird.
Oh, surprise. Okay. Magpie also did Avatar. They did the Avatar. That they also do Bluebeard's Bride, which is like if you're really into really odd sort of things. Bluebeard's Bride, it's cool, but it's like really, really odd. You gotta kind of be in that vibe for Bluebeard's. It's basically, you play the bride of Bluebeard, and he takes you to the castle, and you can go wandering around anywhere in the castle except for the room with the blue door, and it's basically like an exploration game. So it's interesting, but it's not for everybody. So, but yeah, Magpie does a lot of. They throw a lot of spaghetti on the wall, which I think is cool. Sometimes you can come there. Sometimes they'll do splat books. It's like, hey, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? So, that's why I like Magpie Games. So this one here, Nightfell, from Mana Project. Oh my gosh. So this is an Italian company. They did a Kickstarter for a horror fantasy setting called Nightfell. Nightfell it's one of these things where this cult had a successful ritual, and they put out the sun for 100 years, and you're just living in the world there. And so they also do some board game, something. I don't remember what it was, but
I backed that Kickstarter
for Nightfell.
Yeah, it's cram full of stuff.
Yeah.
So much that I just couldn't. There's no way I was ever going to use it. I ended up I think I gave it to one of my other members of my gaming group.
It is. I really like it. I don't own the dice, but I own the core book. I need to get the bestiary, and I need to get the they put out a new adventures book, which I need to grab. So I need to grab that if I ever see it. I'm a big person. I I will order something online if I know I can't get it in the store, but I'd rather buy it in the store. I like getting my hands on things. Meramorph Games, Shipwreck Arcana. I still don't have the expansion for that. So that's what I would go. I love that game. So I don't know if you've never played this game, if you're a big fan of Hanabi or those like logic games or like the mind where it's like, what I am not saying is as important as what I am saying. Shipwreck Arcana is amazing. It's an older game, so a lot of people, it may have fallen off people's radar, but I love this game. So it's all of it. So good. Where we at? Mythworks. So this is a another small publisher, Stoneburner. It's a sci-fi fantasy solo friendly RPG. So I'm down to look at it. So
Cool. It has cool art.
yeah. And it's, it's sold out online. So maybe they would have it there. Maybe they would not. So this one is on Kickstarter right now. I'm not crazy about that one. But they have done some other stuff. So I would like to go see what they have going on. So moving on. Oh, also, they are putting out Colossal. So if they had that there. So this is
So I have the little zine of that somewhere.
Yeah, I've got the hardcover of this book. There's an expansion book for this that I did not back. And
I got that too.
Yeah, I would like to get a hold of this. I like this as a solo RPG because a lot of like 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, which is right here, is a lot of journaling or something like that. Then it encourages you to journal. Colossal is like a combat-centric solo RPG. So, and it's played with cards. So it's a deck of playing cards. So you come through, you make a character. Like this character here, it's like their whole thing is they have a third robotic arm and it usually has a big sword. But basically, you've lived your life in this castle that has infinite rooms and is infinitely tall. And people have lived their whole life in this castle, questing and looking for. And that's why you see all these windows. You think people like will come up here and they'll get up here and they'll say, "Oh, I've made it outside," only to find the other side of the thing is another room. So, and it's just this person going out exploring, looking for the outside and running into like different terrains and different adventures to do that. It's very, very cute. I like it a lot. So, and it's very, very, it's not very rules heavy. You can pick it up and play it in one session and have like an hour, set it down, come back to it later, pick it up again. And it's very, very, the art is very much in this style. All in the book, it's very, cartoonish art. So if you're not a big fan of that art, I would say, maybe not for you, but it's very light, very fun. I love that game. I've played the snot out of it. That's why I'm ready for the expansion. Where did I get down to? We're almost through. Bleak Feather and Bone. This is a cartography game or a map labeling RPG. So when you buy this game, you usually get, let me go over here. You get this, you get the book. It's basically a zine book, but you get these little maps. And as you play the game, you're putting maps on a city. And when you're done, you have even though the map is same game over game, the city is unique.
That's another zine I backed.
So there's expansions for this now that add different maps and different feature sets. So
labeling RPG? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's a map labeling RPG. So you see here all these little maps. Every map is the same in the base game, but how you play that game is going to greatly influence. So like you may be over here and this may be uptown where all the merchants are, but the next game this may be the dregs, or maybe even, there's a crazy undead running around in this quarter of town. Who knows? But every time you play that game, unless you're just deliberately trying to do the exact same thing game over game, your map will always be different. It's basically, if the mindset puts me in playing The Quiet Year, if you've ever played The Quiet Year, which is it's not that's a map making game, where The Quiet Year is a map making RPG. So that's a map labeling. This is map making. So you play The Quiet Year, when you're done, you have a unique map that no two games will be the same. And then you have an artifact that you can go. I've seen people take some stuff that they've played here and they go home and they get a cheap frame and they put it on their wall. I don't know why, but it just reminds them of, oh, I was with these friends, we made a map, we did a thing. Now I have an artifact to remember that. So that's why these games are popular. Where was I at? Okay, so Sniper Elite, the board game. I saw this last Christmas. I guess that's when it came off Kickstarter. I like Spectre Ops. Emerson Matsuuchi's Spectre Ops. Wasn't it Emerson Matsuuchi did Spectre Ops? And this one's a very similar vein.
He's also the designer of Vampire Survivors, the board game.
Oh, is it really?
Coming from Grey Fox Games.
Well, I like this idea of there's the hidden sniper running around just offing people. I think that's awesome. So I would like to get a copy of that if it was available. Where did I get down to? There's Colossal, Bleak Feather Bone. So this one is So this one is my big roll the dice on. So I love the art on this one. It's Ink Lanterns Bundle. It is the art on this is super duper cute. It is basically you're playing what is it? You're playing someone who's died and trying to come back. And then as you fail in your attempts to do that, you restart, but you get a boon. And it's basically like Groundhog's Day with a boon or something.
It's like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you know, it's 100% that. But it's like as you go through the netherworld to try to come back, you get boons to come back. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. And plus, I think this art is cute. So yeah, I like that. I always like black and white little weird art. So, and this is another small publisher, so I would like to try it out. So, and support people. Soul Muppet Publishing. This is something I already own a lot of. Is Best Left Buried. This comes in. I don't know if I can get it out of the shelf here. I've got a bunch of dice covering up. Best Left Buried. It's a beer and pretzels RPG where you are playing a company that all you do is you get hired to go loot crypts. So it's like, oh, well, you're going to go loot this crypt because there's an artifact in it. But if there's anything else there, you can keep it. But sometimes, quote unquote, what's best is left buried. So, and they're out of the UK, and they also make a lot of these little expansion books. I own the main stuff, but I'd like to get the little splat books for them. And that's what I would check out. But yeah, this is an awesome book. It's like they did a really good job of like taking. It was initially put out as 3 small paperbacks, and they've made a print edition with a leather cover that looks really, really nice on the bookshelf.
Yeah, I think I have that. I have too many books.
So I have many leather-bound books in my collection. Studio 2 Publishing at Gen Con is always a cool place to go. So
much stuff.
They do. So Studio 2 is based out of, if I remember correctly, unless they've changed, Studio 2 is based out of Knoxville, Tennessee, which, you know, that's where I'm from. And what they are is they're kind of like, they're not quite a distributor, but they will put out a lot of stuff to game stores, but they also sell directly. And at Gen Con, what they'll do is they'll have an aisle there right in the middle of the con, and both sides, they'll take like 2 or 3 booths on both sides, and they'll just line it up, and it's just indie RPG guys. So if you want to get like Shane Hensley's Deadlands books, if you want to get Delta Green, if you want to get, well, the Genesis isn't around anymore. If you wanted to get that, it was here. But they don't make anything themselves. But if
they're not publishing to Genesis anymore.
No. That went Tango Uniform. Books are very expensive now. I was thinking of selling mine, but I don't know if I will.
Put a pin in that because I own a bunch of the Genesis books.
Yeah. Anywho, there was a guy. Who was the guy here? Did the D6 or was it? He was a guy with a red beard. Was here? Did some RPG.
Oh, you're thinking of Alan Barr.
Yeah, his stuff gets sold through Studio 2.
He used to live in like basically 10 minutes from my house, but then him and his wife moved.
Yeah, but all of his stuff comes through Studio 2. Arcane Library, Shadow Dark RPG, which has taken pretty much the the old Grognard world by storm. A lot of people love this game. I don't own this, and I don't know if I should.
Really?
And I do not. I have considered owning it, but I do not own it. I would like to get my hands on it and read through it.
Just buy it. Just buy it.
Just
It's-
buy it.
I mean, just buy it. No, I mean seriously, it's that book. I mean, I'll never play it personally. I'll never play it. But that book, I bought it for my son, and I mean I backed it, right? And I backed the campaign because I want all the stuff, just because it's good stuff to read or whatever. I mean, I have legitimate problems with it. I don't like the way the books are made. There's like a lot of empty white space on every single page. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like they go for a less is more aspect, but sometimes I like crunchy.
Mhm.
But when I bought it for my son, and I said, I think this is, you said you want to run your own campaign. I think if you ran this, your friend, you would be able to handle running it, and your friends would handle it too. And he did. He took off and he ran a year-long Shadowrun campaign with him and his buddies, and he was like 12 years old. It is a really, really, really rules light system that gives you a little bit of fifth edition because you get to monkey with your characters and give them like little powers and abilities.
Mhm.
And it has a lot of OSR stuff, and it has one of the best rules ever, which is just your um when you light a torch, it lasts for an hour. So
Oh yeah, I love stuff like that. Just
you
set a
phys-
sand timer and let it go.
well, no, I mean like one person, the person who has the torch or whatever, they take out their phone and they put an alarm 60 minutes, and that's what you get. And if it goes out, you're in the dark and you can't see it. And so that's, and all of a sudden now you're at basically, it's tougher to light a torch. So if you're not paying attention to what's going on, and it's 60 minutes of real time, and it's just a fantastic. And basically what it does is it says it basically no player character has dark vision. Nobody can see in the dark. Nobody has infravision. Nobody has, the monsters do, but you don't. And it's a great way to like just ramp up the tension. And also, it's one of those things where I took that and I added it, and it was like we actually had a situation where the players were like they were trapped in the dungeon and they were down to like six torches, and they were like, "Well, we gotta rest," and like we can't. If we rest, we won't be able to see anything. Well, we can rest in the dark. Do we dare? Like do we dare like basically try to find a room, lock it in, and then rest completely blind with nothing to be seen? So. Yeah, no. I mean, just buy it. You're not going to be disappointed in it. I mean,
So that will go on a must buy list. So if I can find so we're actually coming towards the end. Okay. I'm thinking I might get this before Gen Con. So Tabletop Combat, they are based out of Europe. They do miniature games. This is Full Tilt. This is Halfling Jousting.
Ha.
And so they have a lot of different miniatures. This is what's in the core set. They have other sets you can get, like halflings riding seals, halflings riding camels, and so it's just a very cool beer and pretzels game. TT Combat also does was it Carnival? They also did Rumble Slam. If you remember Rumble Slam from
Rumble Slam was a fun game.
yeah. So same company.
That checks. I mean, same kind of mirth aspect to the
Yeah.
thing.
And in that same vein, this is one guy from San Antonio that made a miniature tabletop game that plays. You don't even have to buy terrain. You just get a bunch of crap and throw it on the table. And it is very beer and pretzels. It is basically an alien race decided they would come to Earth to take over, but their scouts analysis was a game store playing Warhammer, and so they all landed down under the guise of being miniature sized, and so they basically half of the aliens wanted to go back to Earth, half of them wanted to stay. So now they're fighting all each other, and So it's just these tiny little aliens, and I just think it's cool. It's just one dude in San Antonio. There's a little dream for this. He's got like literally expansions for this. He's got like over 150 different characters you can play in it. I saw this last year at ReaperCon, and I spent like $200, and I've got more minis than I'm ever going to do with. But it's like, oh, I don't have this one. I don't have this one, because he's always thinking of creative ideas that work well, and it's not expensive. It's super duper.
So I'm almost positive that guy used to live up here because I remember that guy was showing that game off at the local conventions up here in Upper all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I thought it was super cute, and I threw some money into it, and I like to just sometimes I like to just go visit and see how these companies are progressing, or how they're growing, or if they're growing, or are they enjoying what they're doing, and sometimes that's all that matters. And then finally, Wise Wizard Games. I don't makers of Full Thrust. I liked their game Sorcerer, where it's like you're dueling and you have like the two wizards, and there's like your wizard was a School of Magic, a land type, and then an origin. They have an expansion for it that I don't have. I would love to have that, so I would go there and buy that, and it's not expensive. So love this game, but it's very much the card game. If you like, if you're a big fan of Ashes, it puts me in the mindset of Ashes in a way.
got it.
So
No Lamentations of the Flame Princess stuff.
I do not like Lamentations of Flame Princess.
Oh, really?
I draw the line, and I don't. Lamentations of Flame Princess, there's some cool books for it, but there's also some weird, like hey, you're fighting big vagina monsters. I don't dig that. So no, that's not my jam.
Yeah, he needs to. I mean,
I
I've
don't
got
behoove people that get into that, and I know his books are hyper collectible, and I know he's going to be there, and I hope he does well. But me personally, that's not my jam. But he does a excellent job, and those books look top notch.
Yeah, the one, um, man, I mean, it's spendy, but I mean, as far as something to read, there, I mean, are you gonna actually be at Gen Con or no?
I am not. No, I am not.
Okay. Um, let me, I mean, I know you want to avoid the, vagina monster things, which, I understand that completely and totally. But there's one that it's a book that's basically what if you had a like evil Hogwarts, and that it's really really well done, like as far as the Yellow Book of Breckavold is what it's called. I mean, it's just that's a really, really good one that like if you wanted to read something that wasn't awful. And then The True Relation of the Great Virginia Disastrum is a giant book slash campaign that is just really, really good to read. It comes in three books. It's beautiful looking, really well done, and it's very much uh without trying to I'm trying to not do any spoilers people that might the seven people that might watch this and care. It's like basically take like the 1600s Virginia colony and then insert a lot of like Cthulhu-esque type of things that should not be, and also under the backdrop of the Virginia colony and the Native Americans that are there as well, and then a third faction and how they kind of ping pong off of each other. Really, really good. I mean, it's something that's worth owning just to read. It's super good. So anyway, just
But yeah, but that is kind of that is how if people are at home. That is make that list when I go to Gen Con, and that's what I do, and I try to keep to that list. And when I get ready to go, like I'll actually sort it all in numerical order, so it's like I'm going down this aisle, come down this aisle, so I maximize my time there because I don't get a lot of time there. So
Yeah. I mean, so here's the other thing, like Tuesday night games. I don't think they're going to be there.
just booth prices, man. A lot of these small publishers, they don't need it. They don't need Gen Con anymore. They can make money without Gen Con. Like Tuesday night games, they do really well in their Discord. Like they have a rabid fan base down there.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like, um, I want to be able to go to, you know, um, like Tuesday night games and like buy uh mothership stuff, and just like, I mean, instead of like be able to like look, like you say, you want to be able to hold it and look
Yeah,
at it, I want to do that to be able to, look at it and decide, is this something I want?
yeah.
Is this interesting to me?
I think they're doing like direct distribution because like here in Houston, like pretty much every store has like the mothership deluxe box in it now. So
Mm.
I don't know if it's just they've made a bunch of money on stuff or they're just taking a chance on it or what. But I mean, they're doing really well with mothership. So um,
Yeah.
wedding games didn't have any new. I looked at the wedding games; they didn't have anything new. I love
Yeah,
wedding.
Brandon hasn't had anything new for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like into the Cess and Citadel and into the and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, no. Yeah, yeah. But that is it. That is it for me. That is my
Well,
report over and out.
yeah, there you go. Well, I appreciate that, man. And you got to send me that sheet so I can
Oh
go
yeah,
check it
I'll
out.
put the link. If anybody is here and actually hangs out in the Alaboom Discord, I'll post it in there. So
Uh,
all two people that are in the Alaboom Discord.
yeah, the tens of fans. No, yeah, but make sure you send me that so I can have it. I'll
We'll do
download
it,
it. And
man.
well, good work. Well done. Aldi, since you're going, are there games that you're gonna send your minions out to go get, like per se, like a Shackleton base, if you will, or something like that? Oh, he's gone. Never mind. He's not around.
He
Well,
just he thinks we're still talking. Quick, do
well,
initials and I'll win by default.
and that's fine. And that's fine. He can think we're still talking. Um, that's unfortunate because I want his opinion on some board games. Well, uh we will do our big rundown like we always
Are
do.
you summoning the Keith for it?
Well, I'll reach out, I mean, and hopefully he'll make it. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where he needs to be, that's the best way to do it.
Otherwise, it'll take 300 hours. You gotta have Keith there to go bam, 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 bam.
Well, he's not a publisher or anything, so he can say,
Things that
um,
other people cannot.
yeah, and I'll just say, you can't say that, buddy, and then, um, yeah, there you go. Uh, but, um, other than that, I mean, Gen Con, what else was I gonna say?
Yeah. Started
Yeah,
Oathsworn this week, and
what is this
it was
week?
pretty good.
What, say that again?
We started our Oathsworn campaign this week, and it was pretty good.
No, that's the one that's the big giant mess,
Yeah,
and
it's 40 pounds.
I ended up selling mine to somebody for pennies on the dollar just to get rid of
I
it.
didn't quite get it on pennies on the dollar, but somebody at BGG Con got their oath sworn in at the same time they got they got in their Kingdom Death, and they said, I need to make a decision because I'm not going to play both. And they chose Kingdom Death. And so they sold it on the old virtual flea market for a good rate. And I picked it up.
That's, my Kingdom Death still awaits me opening it. That's another one that I should uh sell it for what it is worth. And
Yeah. Sell it before it gets forgotten. They will be at Gen Con.
they're always a Gen Con. I'm almost stunned that guy's still in business. I mean, because he's going to get hammered by the tariffs here pretty soon, and he's not going and asking for any extra money from anybody. He just must have just money, you know.
Well, I think
Um,
those pinup models and stuff, those resin casts they do those. The pinup
yeah,
models is a really good source of income for him. Grognards love pinup models.
because they're old white men.
Yep, that's it. You got it.
Hmm. Um, yeah. Uh, Bluebeard's wife game sounded really interesting, as well as the castle game as a non-RPG. The Bluebeard game almost sounds like a meditation exercise gamified. Being Bluebeard's wife is nobody's want. I can remember that old movie. It was like um, I think it was like an old Vincent Price movie about Bluebeard and about I remember it was like, obviously it was a horror movie from the uh, 50s and 60s or whatever.
So, question: do you know right offhand? Because they were talking about like Winnie the Pooh and like the original story of Batman and all that stuff went in the public domain or whatever this year. Um, is it is it like a marked year that every year that gets done, or is it just a allotted set of IPs?
I mean, it's a certain amount of time, and I don't know what it is why what it is. Like, and the crazy thing is like, um, it's like the Disney lawyers fought tooth and nail to keep Mickey Mouse as a whole, um, out of it, right? But Steamboat Willie
Made it through.
made it through because they couldn't hold that back. But like, you so now it's public domain and everybody can use Steamboat Willie and do whatever they want with it and so on and so forth. And like, but Disney's got lots of money and lots of lawyers, so they were able to keep it from being, I don't know, corrupted, so to speak, if you buy into those things.
I just wonder,
Um,
like the Vincent Price stuff, like what year that would come around, because I would love to see some really good, uh, like Island of Doctor Moreau, or uh, I think there could be some good games out of that, or like the first I Am Legend, or not I Am Legend. What was the first one? The one he did, Last Man on last was it Last Man on Earth? The one he was in that they did I Am Legend based off of.
yes, I think so.
See, that would be a fun game.
So here, this is a good question for you, since so did Genesis, you said that like basically that company's done making books, they're not going to make
So
any.
Six More Vodka, as far as I know, well, I remember they lost the U.S. rights. It went to Europe for a while, and I think the guys at Six More Vodka, I think, ended that. They tried to do it. They tried to make an alternative Genesis for a while, and I think that sort of failed. It didn't have the backing to it, and so I think, like, I know all their Facebook groups is like when somebody has a book that they're, hey, I'm cleaning out my collection, and somebody's like, oh my god, yes, sell me the books.
Well, I know you can like um Six More Vodka opening soon. Our shop is down for maintenance,
Yeah,
meaning meaning we don't have a shop right now.
yeah,
Probably because they just don't have books, right? I'm
yeah,
guessing.
yeah. You may be able to get like PDFs, but actual physical dead trees.
Did you see that the their Kickstarter or their thing or whatever. Why can't I talk? The uh their board game they were going to do with GameFound, they got canceled on GameFound.
I'm not surprised. I don't think it would have went well anyway. It
Well,
didn't
I
have a
mean,
huge. That game never had a huge market in the U.S.
well, and it's like, and it was a relatively small amount of money. It was like $330,000 to get it made. Um, so it's one of those things where, um, I'm sure it's just, and then they're and to GameFound's credit, they are going to refund everybody their money.
Good on.
Like, they
Game
are
is that?
the Genesis Kickstarter or GameFound
Did you
crowdfunding.
collect any of those, Scott? The Genesis books?
No, I'd never heard of it.
It was a really
They're beautiful
weird Polish.
books.
It was like I think it was a Polish game. It was based on the idea that like a virus came and wiped out 3/4 of the world, and
As it does.
as it does, and it just made like a dystopian future thing, and it was just it was really really bizarre. They had some really bizarre ideologies and some really bizarre art.
Oh, it did not it was not a game for children.
Mhm.
They did not pull punches as far as with the horribleness
Yeah, but they couldn't
of
find an audience, so it just went out. And like a lot of like really weird RPG stuff that goes out, they get a lot of niche collectors that will spend a lot of money on the niche books.
Yeah, I remember like that was Gen Con like 4 or 5 years ago. Like I would always like say like when I bought what the hell was the game? Um I can't remember now for the life of me. Like I would say I want all these books or whatever, and I knew it would cost me like $300 for all the books, and I would that was like the one thing I would do at Gen Con. I would buy, and the Genesis was one of those where it was like,
Mhm.
how many books are out for this? And these are the books that are out. I was like, these are all of them. These are all of
Give
them.
them.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to buy all of them. And then, what was the other one? God bless, I can't remember the name of it. I mean, if the room wasn't dark, I'd be able to see my bookcase over there, and I'd see it.
I did that
Uh,
with the Genesis. I also did that with Shadows of Estrin.
that's the one, Shadows of Esther.
The French
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, the Shadows of Estrin books. Yep, I have. I don't think I have all of those, but I have damn near all of them. Are they still making stuff for that?
Yeah, they're doing the 5e stuff.
See, I like their system that they had for Shadows of Estrin.
Yeah. And they made
I,
a board game, and the board game didn't really take off. What was it? The Black Rose or something like that?
yeah, it was.
It was not amazing.
Yeah, but the Shadows of Estrin, I loved the system and how that worked, and it was because it was very very much a kind of grim dark, very spooky.
Mhm,
It was just good. It was just good.
mhm.
And but it had its own sanity. It was fantasy that actually had horror that was actually like well done in a
Yeah,
lot of ways. Fantasy and horror don't usually mix,
that's
because
why
it's
I
like
kind of like that Free League Symbarum or whatever.
Symbaroum, yeah, that
I
that's
like
the
that. Yeah, it's like
that's
you are out of money. That's the premise of your character, and you are going adventuring to get money, but there's shit out there to go and get you. So
yeah. Anyway,
There's shit out there.
there's shit.
I asked you a question, but I didn't realize you weren't around.
I had to go make coffee. I was fading out.
You're fading out.
He wanted to plug that cup.
I don't know. Yeah.
So my
your board
question
game
is
geek out.
this: what are three board games that you want to make sure you pick up while you're at Gen Con? Or that maybe you'll send your minions out to go get for you.
I mean, I'm going, so I'm gonna be there.
I understand, but your minions will
I guess
go get you
Vantage
stuff.
would be the number one.
Oh my god.
Well, but
Although I
Stonemaier,
ordered
he
that
doesn't,
today.
but he
I
doesn't
ordered-
have a booth. He won't,
No,
he
he
doesn't.
sells stuff. He boosts with Maple Source, and Board Game Geek boosts with Maple Source also. So we're
So you'll just be
Alright.
able to
We're
grab
sharing
them.
a booth.
Will,
What?
will Beth be back by then?
No. That's gone for 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what she told me.
She's been gone for 30 days so far.
How's your life without her?
Challenging.
Yeah. Your
But-
Quacks Queen is gone.
But all the people are working hard to make up for it. The team is working hard.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
see that. I see that.
yeah, like Lainey took over the Gen Con stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's doing well.
Very nice.
Gosh, what else is coming out? I mean, I don't know. I mean, bring up the preview.
Wow.
I mean,
Well, we can't do that early. I mean, like, are you
Yeah.
are you gonna get a copy of Shackleton Base while you're there?
I mean, I have Shackleton Base from Essen last year, but probably
Oh.
get the new one because it's probably going to be a nicer production, I think. Because I think the original was not as nice.
Must be nice.
Panasaurus.
Oh, you're
By the
gonna
way,
get the Hawk
I
game.
tagged Panasaurus in a Board Game Geek post about people buying counterfeit copies of sea salt and paper off of
Amazon.
Alibaba. Yeah.
What was
So-
it? Somebody bought one off Amazon and they said that came from
Alibaba.
yeah.
Yeah, they're basically like there'd be a store on Amazon, I guess, and then they're basically just drop shipping Temu crap, or not Temu, but Alibaba stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is pirated. Almost everything on Alibaba is pirated, right? I doubt there's any
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's pirated so much as it's just garbage. I mean,
not pirated. Right? I don't think the publishers get any cut of that.
well, and it's usually
My
not.
understanding was it was all pirate.
It's usually not of equal quality, I guess. Let's just put
No,
it-
it's like just a secondhand print.
Has Gray Fox
Um,
had any of that go down on Alibaba?
All right, I'm bringing up the preview because I don't know what games are going to be out.
I have not heard of a single like. I mean, the only game I could see them making fake ones for would be,
Deception.
Deception. Yeah, because it's just a bunch of cards.
Is it on? Have you even browsed?
Yeah, I saw a counterfeit one of those once when I was going through a bunch of counterfeit stuff. But yeah, it makes sense with the components of that one.
Let's sort by thumbs.
I've got two.
Ah. For sale. I guess this nature game looks pretty cool. You know anything about it?
Nature game.
Nature?
Yeah, it's like it's evolution, but redone. If I
It's
recall
evolution
correctly.
again? Is it really evolution?
I think they streamlined it. I was reading about it. I wasn't
Evolution
particularly.
is just
Oh,
too
it's
mean.
North Star, so yeah, it probably is.
Evolution is just too mean.
Well, maybe they fixed it in this redone version.
Oh, why there's 7 different boxes for it?
I don't know.
Are they doing collectible boxes?
I don't know. Are they?
I don't know. There, I mean, you saw
Yeah, I
all
saw
the
those boxes
on a shelf.
yeah.
They're doing like abyss covers.
Was that what it was?
I mean,
Yup.
Oh no, it's modules.
oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
it's
Wasn't
like,
this with the different
like,
boxes?
what are you
though,
gonna do?
wasn't it?
I want to play monkeys.
Play with the monkeys.
It's like, what do you want to play today?
It's
Let's
the
play
Amazon rainforest, by the way. Arctic tundra, natural disasters, Jurassic, and flight.
moose, lightning, monkey, dinosaurs, and ducks.
Yeah, I didn't know this was evolution, but I don't know. I mean, like evolution is fine. I like it, but it's too mean.
So what's the deal with Vantage? What is it? Is it Stegmaier actually? Is it?
It is
Did he make
a
that one?
it is a exploration and adventure game.
But he
Um,
did design it as well.
Yeah, he's a
It's his
designer.
game.
He's a designer. Yeah, it's his game.
He's not just picking it up from somebody.
So you crash land on a planet.
Okay.
and it's co-op, and you see how. Well, this is it. Each person can see their own location.
Okay.
Can't share that location, from what I understand. But you can describe it to someone. And then you can talk about what to do. And there all these little rainbow things are like actions you can do. Apparently it's pretty good from what I've heard.
There's like a crazy number of like cards, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like
there's like
600,
800. Yeah, there's some cards.
and they're each like you explore and uncover
So
them.
you found an eel, a giant eel, like animal slithers past you, biting your leg and springing in the air. Do you want to follow it, observe it, coax it, feed it, catch it, or hunt it? And then you can also like travel, right? You could go this way to go to 129, and that one will go to 138, 381.
It's
Yeah,
a
so
card-based hex
it's a
crawl.
card game. Yeah, like it's a card-based exploration game.
Just call it what it is. It's a hex
There's no
crawl.
map.
It's a hex crawl. Lance, tell him it's a hex
It's
crawl.
a hex crawl.
Okay. Looks
I
good.
mean, seriously, it looks so bland. I'm sure the game is amazing. I'm sure people will have a ton of fun with it. But I mean that game just looks so bland to me. I just it's just like here's your square and here's some dice. Have fun.
I've
You get
heard
those
nothing
metal
but
coins.
yeah. I guess there's metal coins here. Oh, that's
Look, they
pretty
fit
cool.
together.
That's pretty cool.
Oh well,
didn't
I mean,
notice that.
okay, you know what? That's cool.
They're buying it now. Metal coins.
Well, no, I'm not gonna buy that game. I I mean, I'll never play it. I mean, it's
Someone
like
weighed it. What is that? 2.3 pounds.
I mean, that's a game that
10.2.
would
Pounds.
that's a game that would
10
never
pounds, 2.3 ounces. 10 pounds.
never hit my
10-pound
table.
box. My God.
And I don't say that to be braggy. It would never hit my table. I mean, I just
How is that
Yeah.
bragging?
well, I mean, I'm too good for it. You know,
It'll
like
never
that.
hit my table.
No.
I'm excited for it.
You, the simpleton, you can play it, but me,
Is this Ruins game another card crafting game?
I'll be playing a real game somewhere.
Yeah, it's a redone version of the that
Oh.
Heroes one.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
I guess we're pretty excited if they refine that.
Oh, is that like that one game? What is
It's
that?
the overlay
Mystic
thing
Veil?
where the cards go.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's got clear plastic things that go in transparencies, right?
Can I use my Mystic Veil in this game?
I don't think
No,
it's
it's a spinoff of the other game, like a trick taking game that they made. AEG.
Oh, what was that?
AEG.
Yeah, the hero
Something
thing?
Heroes.
Oh, it re-implements custom heroes.
That's it.
I'm less excited about this now. Well, I'm just not into the trick taking thing. I mean, it's fine, but I was more
Really?
interested. I'd be more interested in a I like their Age of Darkness or whatever it was, or Age of.
I was
Soda
gonna try that.
jerk.
Trick
Oh, is that
taking
the-
games
is that
have
the
been around
Christine-
forever.
Hey,
and
here's
all of
one
a
for
sudden you're
you,
just not a fan.
Lance Soda Jerk.
Is that Chris Sheets?
You're a dick. That's fine.
God, could they upload a smaller picture? Oh,
I'll suffer. I'll suffer
Oh.
your slings and arrows.
No, is that designed by that guy from the Dice Tower?
I guess.
That was it. Yeah, that's why that was because I wondered why they had so many thumbs. It looked pretty generic. Yeah, that was
Chris
yeah,
Yeat.
the guy from that's it, Chris.
Oh, cool.
Another Dice Tower person game. And it's
You got the spotlight, might as well use it.
Oh, Luthier. I'm excited from Luthier.
Oh, I was gonna say, is the R
Yeah,
silent?
because I thought I don't know,
Oh,
maybe.
I mean, I don't know why
Oh, wow.
you would think it is.
I mean, look at that. Holy cow, look at that.
Wow, that's an assault of color, isn't it?
But I mean, I really
Salt.
like Distilled. Now I don't know if there's any.
Oh, is this the dude that did the
So Anthony
Yeah.
Ricano is watching us live, and he says Vantage looks like a sandbox stray cats pooping.
straight from the grocery store?
Yeah, straight from the grocery store. Hot takes from Anthony Ricano.
You could at least join us and say that.
He's probably packaging up something.
They put some kind of filter on these photos. They like very highly Like there's like a lot of contrast here.
I mean, the art is very
I mean,
dark. I'll give
yeah,
him
I mean, it's a Matt Paquette, right? Matt Paquette and Company design.
that. Is it really? Oh,
Oh yeah, he
oh,
did it.
and it's Vincent Dutrait. Look at that.
Yeah.
Woo!
That hack.
What's this price on this? $80. Huh,
Yeah.
Wow.
that's actually surprising.
Is that out in stores already though?
I don't believe so.
It says
'Cause
retailers.
yeah, you can I guess you can buy it now.
I gotta say, that would never hit my table.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in stock though. Yeah, pre-order. You can
I
pre-order.
bet that's been bought
Pre-order
by
for
people named Luther.
$60.
Luther all over the place. Oh, Luthier.
Luthier.
Luthier, the guy that makes guitars. And
Okay.
fiddles.
Well, is it a violin?
It's a fiddle. It's the same thing.
A fiddle?
It's a
fiddle.
clarinet. It's the
It's-
same thing.
It's a
Galactic Cruise.
a small ukulele.
I mean, I thumbed up Galactic Cruise. I think Galactic Cruise is pretty great.
Is
It
it?
is pretty great.
It is.
That
Pretty
was that was for sale at BGG.
It's already at 533. Yeah, and I met the guys. They're really nice. They're cool. I like their attitude. They're friendly. It's nice.
Yeah, they
Well,
put a
really?
they put
Because
the
when I went
brand
over to tell them I thought the game was cool, they said, "You know what? We only talk to people that are important. So if you
Yeah,
could just
$32.99. What is this?
I don't know about that.
This is not, oh, it's the playmat. Yeah, we gotta fix that. Ace of
is that about Motorhead?
Spades. Ace of Spades.
If that's not about Motorhead, I'm out.
It's from DeVere.
Remy made the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this one.
It looks like it's a Western.
Looks like it's got regular playing cards.
Oh, that's the one where you have to play poker style hands. I think I was actually interested in that one. That's that one.
Sure. Twinkle Twinkle. Kinfar Council. I actually played this. It's like Waterdeep, but with like a lot of extras. Like a more thematic Waterdeep with like more stuff going on, and you're fighting against a system that could kill you.
I
thought it was pretty cool, actually.
Did you play through Kinfire?
No, I didn't finish it,
I didn't either.
but this was pretty cool. But it's a Waterdeep system. You know, put a worker. You know, you've got a city. It's actually a 3-tiered city. Like or 2 tiers, 3 tiers. Yeah, and there's different buildings. Yeah, it's like it's a Waterdeep system. But I thought it was really cool. But it had way more than Waterdeep. Like there's a bunch of other mechanisms going on.
How long did it take you to play it?
We did not finish it, but we got a good demo of it in like half an hour. It would probably take like a couple hours. What do they say here? Go back. 90 to 120. That's probably true. I kind of want to play this Transgalactica, but I've heard such bad things about the rule book. I heard the rule book is rough.
Fuck that.
Yeah, people are like downvoting it because of the.
Good for them. They should. There's too many games coming. No, there's too many games to pull that bullshit. Too many games to pull that bullshit. Like there's 200 games on Kickstarters right now. If you're putting out a shit rule booklet, you deserve to have your game land in that 8,000 to 17,000 range because you didn't put in the time and effort to make sure it was great before you shipped it out. Like, I'm not talking about like screw ups in the rule booklet, but just complete and utter piles of shit. And I swear, and I'm just jaded because I cover Kickstarter every day, and it's just feels like every 4th or 5th project, that's what it's like. Oh yeah, you go back and it's like, oh yeah, we had to completely update the rules.
Did you play Inferno, Scott?
I did. I think this is a very good game.
I love that like Forrest I love Forrest like comes in hot with his
Hot take.
opinions, and then you just don't even respond.
Wow,
to
somebody
it.
painted these very nicely.
Anthony says the original box cover for Ace of Spades had Lemmy on the cover, but his family said to take it off.
Isn't he alive?
No, no,
No,
no.
no, no.
He
Ah,
died
damn,
like
that's
what, 10 years
that's
ago?
disappointing.
Yeah, the Inferno is a really cool game. I like the theme. It has good mechanics. The only problem, my only niggling thing about it is it's got its defensive worker placement. Meaning when you put a worker down, you can set someone up for like a huge move. And if you don't pay attention to that, you're giving the game away.
Is that the one where you start up in London and then you send the people down to hell and they
Yeah,
slide down?
it's basically like a hopscotch mechanic, right? Like you
Oh.
can jump over people and get, if you get down to the bottom, you're going to score like see how these that's like how much points you get if you get all the way to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But you basically hopscotch as you can do these
Are you
like,
making your way out or are you making your way in?
no, you're making your way down.
Yeah, you send sinners to hell.
Yeah, you're sending
So-
sinners to hell.
Oh, okay.
The 7 levels of hell. I mean, it's
I,
really cool though. I mean, I think it's a very good game. I had fun with it. And then but the person who won was the person who got set up the most. And I'm like, oh man, that kind of bummed me out.
But would you play it again with a different group of people other than your play group?
I guess I would play it again.
That you
But I
didn't
mean,
sound
but
confident.
I'm never going to love a defensive worker placement game. I mean, I think the game is very good, and I would recommend it. But if you don't like the defensive worker placements, like if you have and I'm not going to say a weak player, but a player who's not paying attention that does like a bonehead move, and you basically give a person 10 points.
So give me an
Or just
example
basically,
give me an example of a defensive worker placement game. Other than it.
there's another. I feel like I have another. I did have another example of that.
it's odd you say that because I actually tried this one at Origins for like an hour and change, and the person I was playing with fucking hated it, and they hated it because they were stupid as fuck and they kept setting me up. So, like, I
Yeah, I
had a
mean that's the
blast.
problem, right? Like if you have a player that's just going to toss the game.
Yeah, because if they how they do stuff in hell, if you do that absent-mindedly, like they can slip down to the
Yeah,
lower layers of hell
yeah,
pretty easily.
and it's hard to see it sometimes because it is it's a hopscotch checkers type mechanic. And if you don't see the move, like, oh, I just jumped all the way to the bottom and I scored 10 points and you didn't score anything. And I set you up, basically, the person going after you, you know.
I may
Anyway,
get that on the
I
secondary.
can't think of anything right now. I feel like I did come up with another. There was something else though with defensive worker placement where I just have to think so hard about making the move that I don't enjoy that part of it. Right? Where I'm not actually doing the move that I feel like is best for me. It's the move that is best for me that doesn't set someone up to win the game.
Mhm.
That's the feeling I would get it.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll pick that up on secondary, I think.
I think it's a really good game though. I mean, it's doing well.
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. Like, and maybe it was just that guy sucked so hard, and like I don't know.
There's so many great things in this game though. There's a
You
lot
think
of
he made it too easy for you?
I don't know. Yeah, I like the hell aspect a lot better than I like the worker placement aspect.
There's a lot of cool, and there's like 4 or 5 different monsters that live in hell that do
Yeah,
all kinds of interesting powers.
that was the star of the show for me. It was just how, yeah.
Yep.
Grand Gamers Guild. I think people are gonna like it a lot, but I don't know. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great for my first impression.
I have not played Galileo. I want to. Everybody
Galileo
I've
is
spoken to
really
Galileo
good.
is good. Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I don't play many games, and I'm rarely dazzled by a game. But after I played Galileo last weekend, I normally Cullen gets to leave with the game, and I said I'm gonna keep this one. Sorry.
Whoa! Was it
Yeah.
on your table? It got played.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It made it to my table. So
But is
Gal-
Capstone still on the money? Like they make, Capstone for a while they did no really bad games.
I mean, they've had a few clunkers, but for the most part, Clay knows his shit.
Mhm.
Clay knows this shit.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this odd lane game. It's like a tile placement.
Mhm.
It's point scorer, like based on where you play stuff.
Is that go there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This one,
Yeah, that looks like Honshu.
kinda. But I don't. I mean, all the animals or odd animals have different scoring rules. So you have these, interesting interactions with the way the
Mhm.
animals come into play.
So it's sort of like type.
Jamie,
Is it like Habitats esque?
I don't know if I would say that. I watched Jamie's play of it. Why is it not here? I guess she didn't post it. Um, she did like a playthrough. It was actually pretty good.
Mhm.
Uh, Merchants of Andromeda. Man, All Play has so much stuff. Look at this, another game.
Yeah.
Merchants of Andromeda, Vivo, Lightning Train,
Let me grab a drink and then
Direwolf.
we'll go through some of this stuff. We're doing this pre-show of
I know, but you asked
the
me
show.
my opinion about stuff, so
I wanted to know if
I'm
you
just
were-
doing
if you
one.
had
I'm just
plans.
doing 25 titles, and then I'll be done.
Man, All Play is putting out 300,000 games.
Money is a banger.
There's a rumor that 25th Century and All Play made a bet to see how many games they could put out in a year.
That's really a bet.
Yeah, no, but I gotta grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Is that the old Reiner Knizia game, Money?
Yeah, it is, and the version I played looked like this. You can see how the pictures are so different from like 20 years ago, probably. When was this uploaded? Well, that's January 23, which is not that long ago, but yeah, someone's pictures are not great. Yeah, but it used real currency pictures,
Those are old Polaroid pictures.
which I kind of miss that version. Is that all the pictures we have of money? I feel like this game's been around forever. 1999. Only
Is that a
150.
CD-ROM right there? What is that on the top?
Wait, that?
Yeah, on the top left. What is that? Oh, it's in a laundry
Money
machine.
laundering.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one of those games where you like play money to make money.
oh.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of cool. I thought it takes a minute to wrap your head around. Let me go to the oldest picture. What is the oldest picture of this game?
Oh, that's the one
I feel like
have,
I
right there.
uploaded a picture of this.
That the Fred's promo picture. That's the
Oh
one I have.
yeah, I did not love.
What's that guy
this
drinking, you
one.
might ask? Yeah, that would be a Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero.
Wow.
The best soda in existence.
Did you find some more?
Yeah, actually. Well, no, I just religiously Google the Walmarts and Targets nearby, and if they have
This is the
them, I
version
just
I
buy 'em.
had. The Gold Sheber. Gold Seaber.
Oh,
Wish I still
there
had it actually. Because
Life.
I think the art on this one is nice because it's not art, it's basically like notes. It's cool. Okay.
Man,
For
All
the
Play
Emperor,
so
all
many.
play. That sounds like an old TMG game.
Oh, I'm not crazy about that art.
Me neither. Like a
That has
battle
a
line,
lot of finger pointing.
like a battle line kind of mechanic, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of fingers in that pictures.
2-player duel. The Pillars of Heracles.
The sword of Heracles is hanging over my head.
This looks like a heavy game. It's got minis. Is it a war game?
Taking game, probably.
Wario game. God, I need a bigger picture like where it zooms out a bit. Come on, give me a picture where it zooms out. There we go. Okay. Looks like a conquest game. People have armies.
They're back.
It's like powers. Ancient Greece unfolds. Conquer, trade, build. Strategy meets mythology. It's re-implemented by Sons of Heracles. Oh, I'm guessing that's the newer, what, 20, what the heck? It's already re-implemented next year? I don't understand that. Knitting Circle looks like an offshoot of Calico. A Calico game.
The Calico game.
I thought Calico was pretty good, actually.
It was okay. It got the
Little
job
cat
done.
on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fine. I agree with Lance.
It's fine.
It wouldn't hit my tape.
Yeah, I
Vegas
wouldn't
Strip.
mind it.
Bluff and strategize to expose corruption.
It's no loaf.
Loaf.
It's no loaf.
Oh, look at this guy. The current leader in this casino can't place tiles here. It's got a Santorini casino, a Sunken Treasure casino, Gold Rush casino, Arabian Nights, the Peacock, and a Sunset Gondola. I know all those hotels. All Alibis is pretty fun. It's basically like a code names but cooperative. Like it's you work together to like you basically get dealt like a pair of villains, and you have to come up with a word that matches them, and everybody does the same. Like you're all trying to guess everybody else's villains, and there's one remaining, and then that will be the one that's the bad guy, the true bad guy. But it's pretty fun. You'll just get you'll get a random set of numbers, and you have to do kindergarten and horse. What is your word? Yeah, that kind of. It's a code names kind of game.
I think Cross Clues. It's really good.
Cross
Blue
clues.
Orange
Yeah,
games.
cross clues is more. Yeah, it's more like it. Yeah. Llama Llama.
Llama, mad at mama.
I like the art.
Oh, Evan's here. All right, let's I have 3 sets of initials.
Oh,
3.
Wow.
What?
What the fuck? What's your problem, Lance? Get another
What
hobby.
the fuck, man?
3 of them?
I
That's so many.
love that you still have the I made 2, and then it was one where I thought of like 3 or 4 that I thought would be cool, and then I just was like, I got to write these down, and then you work on them slowly. And I
Yeah,
love the
yeah.
fact that you still have your ladder to the kill closet or the kill attic.
There's no killing in the attic.
It's just flowers.
The blood will get everywhere.
Soaked down.
Evan,
Hello,
no
Evan.
killing in the attic. What up?
You know who's going to Gen Con, Evan?
Not
Aldi,
me.
but not
Is he?
you. Yeah.
I am.
Well,
Changed my
maybe if
mind.
Aldi
Going.
told me that he would be at Gen Con, I
I
would.
changed my mind yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'd like the record to show I was leveraging on him for weeks.
Let the record show.
So if anybody enjoys his company, it's because of me.
Come
Send-
find him.
Venmo
don't be
Lance Dash Meister. The
So
only
now
one in
I'm
the
extra
world.
bummed that I won't be there.
Let me know if you. Oh,
Can't make a
Hey.
last minute
Oh,
alteration.
yeah.
I don't think so.
Lancey, I think, even has a room.
I have a room. That goes on
And-
to anybody who's listening to this. I have a room at the Hyatt Regency.
Now it's up for grabs.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Saving it,
The
you're not
Hyatt.
saving it for Evan?
That's the hotel to be at.
yeah. It's
You got
Not
the
a
hot
free room,
games
by the way.
room
You have to-
there.
you have to
You
take
got
it
the
over.
board game, the BGG hot games room is
You
there.
got
You
the-
get the super
Hyatt.
secret subway.
It's the best hotel.
You got the big cock restaurant. You
that
got
Subway is
Subway.
legit. The pizza place in there is
The
also
Wet
very
Roo-
good.
It's the Wet Rooster, right? Or what is it
The
called?
wet cock.
That pizza place. I'm sure I told this story, but it's my kid. Last year, my kid and I and Shane, we were gonna go somewhere to eat, and something happened. I'm not gonna go into it because there's some personal stuff. It had nothing to do with Shane or my kid or I. But it was a thing where we couldn't go out to eat. We had planned to go out to eat, but we weren't going to. And then Shane just said, let's just get some pizza. And so we headed to this pizza
The
place.
hot box.
Whatever it was. I don't know what it's called. But I mean, it's like, and like they have like they you can buy pizza by the slice, you can buy a whole pizza, there's like calzones, there's all kinds of stuff. And it closes at like 9 or something or 8 or something. And we it was like an hour before close. It was like if it closed at 8, it was 7:06. If it closed at 9, it was 8:04, right?
Yeah.
And so there's this old guy standing over by the food prep thing, and Shane walks over and he's like looking up at the options, and it's Evan will laugh because it's Shane, because he knows how Shane is. and because Shane's just a grumpy old bear, and he
cracks me
walks
up.
up, and the guy, he says, what do you want? Just like that, like not like, oh, hey, welcome, thank you. No, what do you want?
What do you
And
want?
like Shane looks up and he's like, I'm gonna need a chicken calzone, and he's like, no have. And she looks at him and he says, uh, okay, well, and then he like actually like thought, and he said, wait a minute, I should just probably ask, what do you have? And
Yeah.
so like because he was like gonna order something else, and he can see, and so he's like, oh, well, what do you have? And the guy just did this to like show like the few pieces of pizza and like stuff that was left over. That was it. Like there was like 4 breadsticks, like 6
Oh, it was like the
slices.
last remnants of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
he
like,
was like he
and
was
he
not
just
about to make dirty more dishes.
and he just went like this, just like.
Did you end up
Shane
eating
goes,
there? No.
so no, we did. And so Shane goes, well, I guess, and he's like, do you guys want this? And we said, yeah, just make the breadsticks. And there was like, I mean, like it was, cheese pizza and stuff like that. It was fine.
Yeah.
So we just basically cleared the guy out. We bought everything. And he said, yeah, just heat those up and because they're cooked, but not fully cooked,
Yeah.
So like,
That's your place.
yeah. And so he proceeded to start making the stuff. And we were just laughing about it. No have. Just like, and then he did this. And so then we went and sat down and we are like, well, what does this place close? And we realized it didn't close for like nearly an hour. And like this guy just wasn't gonna
He's
make
just
any
out of
more.
food.
No,
And then
he wasn't. He's leaving there on time.
no. So here's the deal. We're sitting there eating our food, like eating our breadsticks, and like these 4 or 5 people come up. And like Shane's like, oh, they're gonna be upset. They can't get anything. And the first person that goes, he's like, what do you want? And he's like, well, we're gonna need 2 chicken calzones. And the guy just starts taking the order and starts making. And Shane, son of a bitch! He says,
You knew that was going to happen. Your ticket wasn't going to be big enough for him to get.
This must have been.
to get-
I think
to
I've
make
heard
the
this.
order.
Was this a couple of years ago?
it was last year.
It was last year. Okay.
Yeah, it was last year. Oh my God, Shane was just livid. He was just livid.
Son of a bitch! I can just. Oh, I can just picture him.
Just,
He said he didn't have it, and then they order it, and he makes it.
yeah, exactly. Myerscough the miser.
Oh, so good.
All right, here we go.
You watching World Series of Poker, by the way?
uh,
Nobody's watching it, is there? Just me. I watched it for like 5 hours yesterday. I just
Oh,
had
wow.
it on the side.
Yeah,
I do
no.
occasionally watch some YouTube highlights of that stuff, but not the actual events.
Yeah, this was
I
actually
mean,
live stream.
One of the
There's
coolest
a couple tables
things.
they had.
Oh, if you don't
Bill Helmuth knocked out.
if
Did
you're
he?
not
Yeah.
subscribed to the Criterion YouTube channel, do so. David Cronenberg just went to the
Oh, nice.
Criterion
Went to the closet.
Criterion closet, and he talked about several movies, and it's only like a 5-minute video. I love the Criterion Closet videos. They are so good.
And it's Criterion month. The sales on this month.
Yeah. So
Sing song.
I mean, Cronenberg, man, I love Cronenberg movies, and just, yeah, but that was like, I mean, there's so many of those things when they just recently he had Dick Cavett was in the Criterion Closet. That was a great one as well. So I mean, and it isn't all just old people, they definitely like they recently
One of my favorite one of those is they got was it Sean Wallace and that other guy from My Dinner with Andre,
yes.
and they were in there. We don't even like movies that much. Why are we even here?
Yeah. No. Anyway, no. Yeah, go. But the Cronenberg, I mean, like I said, there's only like they had one with Michael Cera, I think recently, and then I'm trying to convince myself not to buy the Wes Anderson archive.
What is it?
The Wes Anderson archive that it's like $350 and it's 10 movies, Wes Anderson movies.
I
at the
did that. I got
Criterion.
the Fellini box set.
It's just But anyway,
The Godzilla box set's half off right
really.
now on Amazon. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's all the old first run Godzilla films. It comes in a big box like this.
Nice. There was one, I mean, it's a few months ago, uh, it was more a tyranny. I mean, if you know who that is, I mean, yeah, I mean, like John Lithgow did one recently. That was great. You know, so I mean, and yeah, no, go check that. You should just do yourself a favor. And I envy you because you'll have so many of those things to like watch, and I've watched like nearly all of them at this point. So anyway, Boris, you there?
Yeah.
You gonna play?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
The
Put in my
initials are F.
You.
S. F. S.
A show.
So here we go. Clue number 1 was referenced in Jay-Z's Empire State of Mind.
Evan.
Go for it.
Frank Sinatra.
God damn it. What?
Nice.
Are you a big Jay-Z fan, Evan?
No, I have no idea. I was just like New York. That's Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. All right, well.
And I believe it's pronounced Jays
Jeez.
or Jayus.
Jizz. Jizz.
The Y is silent. It's actually
you know,
jazz.
I should have gone with my first clue, which was connected to Married with Children.
Forrest.
Would not have got.
Yeah,
Frank
I've been-
Sinatra.
The theme song.
I would have got that.
Oh yeah, love and yeah.
All right, clue number 1 dates back to at least the 1950s. Clue number 2 involves distinct boundaries.
Evan.
Go for it.
For sale.
Mm.
Number 3 includes eliminations. Clue number 4 often occurs on asphalt or concrete.
Oh,
Forrest.
Foursquare.
Foursquare
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
correct.
I had something there.
Wreck at that game.
yeah.
Classic.
That
Love
game
it,
was so
Dave.
mean.
Yeah, it is a very
So
mean
mean.
game.
I was a big dumb slow kid, and I did not do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for looking.
All right. Clue number 1 was seen in a 1942 Warner Brothers cartoon starring Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. Number 2
That could be the Frank Sinatra clue.
appeared in the
Yeah.
Tom Cruise movie Valkyrie. Clue number 3 connected to Gary Gilmore. Clue number 4 was seen in Stanley Kubrick's Path of Glory.
Evan.
Go for it.
Firing Squad.
Firing Squad is correct.
Nice.
Have you seen Path of Glory?
Yes, that is a good movie, and it is
Long movie.
it's a very long movie. It's yeah, it's a tough watch too. You know, it's like it's yeah. Anyway, Clue number 1. Connected to Burt Reynolds and singer Jake Owen. Clue number 2. Its motto in English is strength, skill, character. Clue number 3. This is located in a state capital. Clue number 4. Their nickname translates to runaway or wild one. Clue number 5. Connected to the colors garnet and gold.
Garnet.
Garnet. Final clue. This school is connected to the athletes such as Jalen Ramsey, Jameis Winston, and Deion
Forrest.
Sanders. Forrest.
Florida Seminoles.
Aldi,
And Aldi.
Florida State.
Florida.
Damn it!
All right.
Florida
Should have got the
State.
Garnet and Gold. I was thinking,
So when the Atlanta when in 1991, like they did the tomahawk chop in Atlanta at Atlanta Braves games during like the World Series, and there was a big
yeah.
uproar because it was, not, this is 1991, and there was a big uproar as far as like it wasn't respectful to the Native Americans. And the only reason they started doing it was because the Atlanta Braves had Deion Sanders come and play baseball during that year when he was and then people came to that watched him at the Florida State Seminoles, where they do that the tomahawk chop there. They came to Atlanta Braves games and started doing it because Deion Sanders was there. Anyway, just an aside. And Jane Fonda said that she did it, but she did it like this, and it wasn't like an actual chopping motion, so it was
that's
respectful.
the gator chomp.
It was respectful to the
But she emphasized that.
anyway. I will give $5 American if somebody gets this after the first clue.
Forrest. Free safety.
Clue number 1 utilizes a patagium.
Yeah, probably should have waited on that one.
Clue number 2. This is a slang term for a form of diving. Clue number 3. First seen around 18 to 20 million years ago.
Damn it.
Clue number 4. Connected to famous gymnast Gabby Douglas. No Gabby Douglas fans in the crowd, huh? All
Heard
right.
of her.
I got a tattoo of her.
What's that? A fan?
On my butt cheek.
Clue number 5. One of these lived in the fictional town of Frostbite Falls. Final clue. Despite the name, this mammal actually glides.
Chad.
Evan.
It is Chad.
Yeah,
Blind squirrel.
Flying squirrel is correct. The patagium is that flap of skin that they, yeah. Man, flying squirrels are cool. Because I was like, I gotta go watch YouTube videos of flying squirrels. It's just like they just,
They're pretty cool.
yeah, it is super cool.
Was Rocky
Alright.
a flying squirrel?
Yeah.
Rocky, yeah.
Bullwinkle.
But he just
He was
actually
a
flew.
moose. He was a moose.
And
actually.
whenever I bring up my favorite line of any Bullwinkle, Bullwinkle cartoon was freaking great. But Boris and Natasha, they said, but and it's like Natasha, but Boris, what about moose and squirrel? And he goes there, well, I have this moose mating call. And, he has this horn or whatever, and he goes on, and for like a good 30 seconds goes on. It is absolutely, he won't be able to resist. It will entrance him. He won't be able to see us. But what about squirrel? For him, I have gun. It just pulls out this pistol. For him, I have gun. All right, clue number 1. Started January 1st, 1980. Clue number 2. Its creator did not like the idea of
Forrest.
recurring. Go ahead.
Far Side.
Well done,
Wow.
Forrest. Far Side is correct. They just did not like the idea of recurring characters.
He had a lot of deer and hunters that looked
He
pretty
did.
similar.
Yeah.
Nah, they were different.
And
they were
bears.
different deer hunters.
Dinosaurs.
Just such a great comic. Just the what was it, the mobsters all sitting in the pet shop with the parrot behind them, and they say, the cops are on this place, we need a new hideout. It's 123 Evergreen Place. Now we're all gonna say it 1,000 times so nobody
Don't
forgets.
Yep.
I like the one
I gotta
Nerds in
read some-
Hell.
How about that Far Side?
Nerds in Hell, yes.
On
Nerds
the
in Hell.
fire!
Or the devil with the pitchfork in the back of the guys, and damned if you do, damned if you don't. Come on, pick.
He started doing comics again recently, didn't he?
Yeah, he sporadically puts
Maybe
it up.
COVID time.
Did
Yeah.
you
They're still
see
pretty
that,
good too. I saw some of the new ones.
Did
I
you
enjoyed
see that Berkeley Breathe put out a comic strip for Ice? Like,
No.
yeah. You gotta look it up. Anyway. Which reminds me, I gotta get that shirt where it's like the wrong Amazon is burning, the wrong ice is melting. Just damn right. Number 1 was involved in a Saturday night. Sorry. Number 1. Go ahead.
Fred Savage.
Ah.
I heard Saturday Night Live, so I know he was in it.
Clue number 1 was involved in a Saturday Night Live ad parody.
Fred Savage.
Yeah. Clue number 2. Tweak was given one in the 2017 South Park episode titled Put It Down. Clue number 3. Can be stainless steel, copper, plastic, titanium, and more. Clue number 4. Hit cultural phenomenon status in 2007. Evan.
Fidget spinner.
Fidget spinner is correct. And Kabuki Kid Far Side is not the best strip ever. They would be number 2. Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
Doonesbury. Doonesbury.
Wrong again, Forrest.
I just want people to think
Wrong
I'm
again.
smart.
Doonesbury.
That's why I tell
You
people
don't
I like
me,
Doonesbury. No,
Prince
I'm smart because I
Valiant.
like Doonesbury.
It's Valiant.
Prince Valiant, yes.
No, Hagar the Horrible is.
Hey, don't you knock Hagar.
I'm not
I
knocking
did-
it. I'm speaking truth.
I do
Hagar-
like that.
Hagar-
Many times about
Armageddon
Hagar.
is the band.
Hagar the Horrible. What is the best one? The dog.
Oh yeah, new dog. Yeah, what's his name? Snert. How do you spell it? With 2 L's.
I think we all agree Family Circus is probably a solid second, though.
Oh, I mean, no, Gasoline Alley. With just somebody.
Gasoline.
Mary Worth.
Beat old Bailey. He's
Old
asleep
Bailey.
again. No.
He's asleep again. I'm gonna go beat the piss out of him. Just yeah. Good stuff. All right, clue number
What happened
one.
to comics? They're gone. I mean,
They're
I guess it's
gone.
all web
I mean,
comics.
they're-
It's all
Newspapers.
web now, yeah.
But I
I
don't
mean,
see
to
any
be
of them
fair,
anymore.
I mean, Peanuts was great. I mean, like,
Oh, Peanuts is so good.
This was pretty
Pe-
good.
I have like
And-
books of Peanuts that are just
Oh, I
so
know. And I always at my work in my cube, I still have it. I'll have to go. I mean, it's in my. I have a file of stuff that was in my cubicle at US Bank, but I still had the one Peanuts thing where it's like where Linus is talking to Charlie Brown. He goes, "Well, I mean, life is rarely all one way, Charlie Brown. You win some, you lose some. Ah, that'd be neat." Just, oh man. All right, here you go. Clue number one. Connected to Chris Farley and Pump Up the Jam. Clue number two. Connected to Margot Robbie in 2017. Clue number three. Connected to the Iron Lotus in 2007. Clue number four. Connected to the Cutting Edge in 1992.
Love that movie. Evan,
Evan,
figure skating.
figure skating is correct.
Oh, pick.
I was like, you were like, I love that movie, and I'm like,
and like answer it then.
the
Yeah.
answer. And then you're like, I love that movie about figure skating. Oh wait, I should probably ring in. All right.
The first thing came to brain was toe pick.
Yeah. Yes. I love how he got hurt and he could not play hockey anymore because
Yeah.
he got hurt. But he could
go figure skate.
go full speed figure skating though.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Clue number one. Have been connected to cases of fraud. Number two is connected to Snap.
Aldi.
Go for it.
Food stamps.
Food stamps.
Ooh, nice.
Is
Oh, snap.
correct.
I don't know why that took me
Gotcha.
so long to
I
get
mean,
there.
that Snap thing is in the news right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just canceled.
Yes.
Didn't
That is fucked up. I got this, like,
they?
as
Do you ever work
someone
with
who
Snap kids?
I worked a decade with low income kids, and yeah,
Yeah.
like this is
That's brutal.
it's really
Barbaric?
bad, life changing
Yeah, it's
for
bad.
a lot of families. Yeah,
Bad.
yeah. Like it's like I had a bunch of kids who like I would send food home with. It was like, oh yeah, you're gonna go home and there's not gonna be much of anything this weekend, and just
And
to
people
think that
think it's
those
so
places are
weird.
going to get worse.
People think it's so weird that we passed a law in Minnesota that basically said
Everybody gets free lunch or whatever.
everybody gets free breakfast and free lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so weird.
If you come here, like basically like class starts at 9. If you get here at 8, you walk in and you have free breakfast.
Yeah.
And then at lunchtime, it's lunch. I mean, it's like,
You communist.
yeah, I mean, and the thing is that, I mean, and don't get me wrong, Minnesota screwed it up for a while. Like you had to pay in, and then like
Yeah.
your kid would like put in the code and everything like that. And then they had a huge thing where like if you didn't have any money left in your account, they'd still feed you, but like they'd either like for a while they handed a slip to the kids, but the kids would just like, forget about it, or they'd put it
Right.
somewhere, or like they wouldn't bring it home. And then it was like they started like if it didn't, they got a stamp on the back of their hand, and then kids were making fun of kids because if you got the stamp, it
Right.
meant you were
Poor kid.
Oh,
poor kid, you
yeah.
got the stamp, and then they were like, "Oh, we need to stop doing that."
Yeah.
Like it was just
Who
like,
fucking-
Stop branding the
who-
kids.
What
Yeah.
dipshit didn't work with children and decided that was a good idea?
and
Yeah.
then yeah,
Let's visibly mark these kids who can't afford lunch. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
play.
and that was, I mean, and all that took was one phone call from one parent who was just like,
What the?
"So what the fuck are you doing?" It's like
Yeah.
my kid is now being called one of the poors and like getting made fun of, and they're like, "Oh, whoops, let's get rid of those. Let's get rid of those stamps."
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
But anyway, and now it's just free. You walk in, here's your pancakes in the morning, and then here's your square of pizza in the middle
I
of the
like it.
day.
Those square pizzas were banging, man.
Banging.
Come on down and get yourself a square pizza.
Oh, that's great. I mean, it was like, yeah, with the little sausages on them. Oh, those are good. All right, clue number one. Was heard during the final scene of 1996's Sleepers. Number two. Was heard in the first scene of 1987's Dirty Dancing.
Chad,
Go for it.
4 Seasons.
Well done, Chad.
Wow.
Well done. 4 seasons.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
That's a deep pull. All right, here we go.
Antonio Fobaldi.
Clue number one. Once had a monster under their bed.
Aldi.
Go ahead,
That'd be
Aldi.
Fred Savage.
That would be Fred Savage. I was just
Frank
like,
Sinatra.
I didn't get robbed there.
I was like, when I got to the number, I was like, oh, Aldi's gonna be so mad if he doesn't get this. And as soon as you were like, Aldi,
Getting it.
he's got it. All right, here we go. Clue number one. This is synonymous with perfect vacuum. Number two. This is centered. Number three. It comes automatically filled. Clue number four. Can be connected to computer memory. Clue number five. It's not included in a poster stamp. Sorry. Clue number five. It's not included in a postage stamp or four corners. Final
Of course.
clue. Go for it.
Free square.
I will accept that.
It's
However,
for
I would also take free space. But
Free
yes, it
space,
is. It
okay.
is. I will take it. I will allow it.
Okay.
I will allow it because I am the nice one. I am the
Love
nice
me
one.
some bingo.
All right.
I just played bingo tonight. I should have.
We got two left. Looks like Evan and Forrest are tied. Chad and Aldi, you can run the board and tie for the win.
Who would have guessed this topsy-turvy world where Forrest and I are leading?
If
Crazy.
Evan or
Crazy
Forrest get either of this, they basically make it so Chad and Aldi can't win. So here we go. Number one. This is a 1992 romance novel by Sandra Brown that was made into a 1994 TV movie starring Susan Lucci. No Sandra Brown or Susan Lucci fans here. Okay.
We love Sandra Brown. Oh, we yelled gave me the answer.
Number two. was called an icebox in 1951? Clue number 3. Named for its texture. Clue number 4. This actually originated in the United States.
Actually.
Ooh.
Clue number 5. Connected to moose. Final clue. Eggs, cream, chocolate, sugar, and butter are all ingredients in this Evan.
French chiffon.
I
Uh,
will complete the clue.
thank you.
Eggs, cream, chocolate, sugar, and butter are all ingredients in this classic cold pie.
Aldi.
Aldi.
French silk.
French silk.
Never heard of it.
That's what they called me in high school.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. All right. So this is so Chad, you're out.
Okay.
You can still king
I
mate.
can spoil somebody.
You
Yeah.
can spoil-
All
spoil
you
me.
can spoil Aldi. You can spoil
You can
Aldi.
spoil me.
So we got Evan with 4, Forrest 4, Aldi with 3. Aldi, if you get this, we have a three-way tie, and we'll basically have to play another game.
Have to.
I mean,
We're imperative.
I've often considered like if we did like we could do like a World Series kind of thing, or not a World Series, but like basically do like 3 or 4 and total up the scores of each one. But then you run into the risk of like Anthony plays and he just runs away with like the first. Anyway.
8 points.
If you really want to do it the right way, do it so it's got a catch-up mechanism where person in last gets a clue
two.
that's more catered to them. So like if it was me, it'd be like, oh, get a wrestling clue. Or Scott would be like a xylophone clue or whatever that musical instrument he plays is.
Xylophone.
All right, but if Evan or Forrest get it, they are a sole winner. But here we go. Clue number 1.
LFG.
This is named after somebody who died. Clue number 2. This is commonly considered comical. Clue number 3. Jim Carrey did this in Bruce Almighty. Clue number 4. This famously occurred during a wedding on Friends. Clue number 5. This is often seen in news bloopers. Final clue. This is a verbal mistake commonly connected. Evan.
Freudian slip.
Ooh,
Freudian slip is
nice.
correct. Evan
Very nice.
with the win.
Finish that clue, just out of curiosity.
What now?
Finish that clue, that last one, just out of curiosity.
Oh, just this is a verbal mistake commonly connected to the unconscious mind.
Mm.
Good job, Evan.
Good job, Evan.
GG.
All right.
Now
Talk
the
among...
heavy burden, the onus of creating the next one has.
Oh
been laid
no,
upon
no,
my
no,
feet.
no! You lost.
You
that.
don't like mine?
You lost.
You lost that privilege.
Pone or whatever the fuck. that was.
Corn
Corn
pone.
Corn pone.
Corn pone.
You lost all rights.
I like Devin's clues.
No, you
They're
didn't.
I did. They're extra tricky. You felt smart when you got one. You're like, oh,
See?
yeah, I got one.
See, there you go.
Never again. Never again.
Oh, come on.
No.
You know you like it.
No.
I'll let you do them. All right.
I'll be right back, gentlemen.
I didn't put enough sports references in there for him.
For the bus. Corn pone.
Corn pone. Classic.
So I was watching, the World Series,
Oh yeah.
and this one woman got quads 30 minutes apart,
Wow.
but she couldn't capitalize on it. She like misplayed. I mean, they were
Really?
the commentators are like, no, don't do that, don't do that. Like basically
Yeah.
like raising on like a turn or whatever,
Yeah.
after she got the quads.
Oh,
Like,
right.
no,
So
don't
everybody
raise, don't
folded.
raise.
Yeah.
Let someone make their hand, right? Like
Yeah.
get to the last card and then slam them,
Right. Yeah, make them stay in a little bit.
Yeah, you got to let someone win a hand before you start
Yeah.
raising in the middle of a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she raised like a 50, like maybe like $5,000, and
Right.
everybody
Ooh,
folded.
tough.
Everybody folded.
Everybody's like, all right.
Everybody's like, yeah, the second pair pops on the board, like, oh, raise. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you either have a set
Right.
or quads,
Or something. Yeah.
and it was quads. Yeah, and then she gets quads again, and she did almost the exact same thing.
Wow.
She couldn't capitalize.
That's
Sad.
crazy.
But I was watching. I mean, I watched some good poker live. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
some crazy stuff. Yeah, and like Phil Hellmuth got a river queen killed him. Like he was gonna
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
Queen lose.
Was he livid?
He didn't go off on camera. He like stormed away.
Yeah. He gets so like
Yeah, he's like, if it wasn't for luck, I'd win everything, every hand.
yeah, you're like, yeah, dude.
That's what he says.
Like that's why
And then
it's,
Daniel Negreanu also got knocked out.
did he? Yeah, he's good too.
Yep. And who else do I follow? There was someone else famous.
I like Daniel Negreanu just because he's a little bit more personable than Hellmuth.
Yeah,
Hellmuth, you're like, all right, dude. Like we know you're
Yeah.
good, but
he's
like
a brat.
you don't have to be a dick,
Yeah.
I like it when there's more playful banter.
But it was just
rather
fun to
than-
watch. Like I hadn't watched
Yeah.
like live poker in a long time.
Yeah.
Like commentated poker.
Yeah.
And there was this one guy who was basically like shit talking the table the entire time.
Yeah.
And the chat is just like, leave this table, leave this table, leave this table. Like,
Yeah.
turn him off, mute. And then they go to another table and it's deathly boring. And it's like,
And they're like, all right,
go
let's
back to the guy that was shit talking the whole time because he was at least funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he was annoying.
Right.
He was like, what was his catchphrase? If you got it, you got it. If you got it, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just putting the chips out. And he would make the dealer count his chips. Like, it seems like very unprofessional. Like,
Yeah.
he goes, I don't know. I don't know how many chips that is. Just have the dealer count it. The dealer would have to bend over and count it.
Yeah.
He goes, if you got it, you got it. You got it, you got it. That was his catchphrase.
Well, if I ever went into professional poker,
But he had
I'd
to
have
tell.
I'd have to come up with a catchphrase.
He had to tell.
What was his tell?
He would go quiet when he had weak hands.
Oh, because he was always shit talking unless he had.
Yeah, it
weak
was
hands.
just, he was shit talking his strong hands
Yeah.
nonstop. And then he would get quiet in his weak hands. Like, okay, you got your tell.
Yeah.
Everybody, table. And he would
Table.
like tank. You know what tanking is?
Yeah.
For like the 5-minute tanks. For like you could tell he's got nothing. He's gonna fold.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Wasting 5 minutes.
Oh, just like
because he was
sitting
basically
there.
trying to get to the money. Like they were like on the cutoff last night of the money.
Yeah.
Anybody got, I think it was like top 1,400 people get 15 grand minimum.
Yeah.
And they were like 500 people away from it when I stopped watching. And he was just tanking.
So if you sit there and slow things down, you're more likely to
Yeah.
stay in.
Well, because more hands can get played while you're not playing.
Right.
Right. It's like you're using your time. And then when they went down to like one room of tables, they had to do hand per hand.
Right.
So everybody had to finish a hand. Then they play another hand. Every
makes
table had to
sense.
finish a hand. So they didn't have any like
yeah.
people
Somebody doing that.
off kilter with like the timing. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. I almost want to like watch the rest of it just because it was so interesting.
See what happened.
But I remember like, didn't ESPN did so many Texas Hold'em or World Series of Poker commentary, like shows that I think they sort of stopped.
Really?
Well, there's these like online streaming things that basically do way more coverage,
Right.
but
I
they're
just
not
go down
free.
a YouTube rabbit hole every once in a while. Just to-
Yeah.
just to see like crazy hands
Where's the
unfold.
World of Poker? Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, whoa.
There was 10,000 people in the tournament.
Wow.
The top prize is 10 mil.
That's
Second place
that's
gets
a life
like,
changer.
I think like 6 or 7.
Wow.
There was $100 million prize pool.
What do you okay, here's a maybe it's just a stupid question, but how much money would change your life? Like what's the cutoff for life-changing money?
$50.
$50. 20 bucks is 20 bucks.
I want my $2. I don't know. I think it'd
I
have to
know.
be like
Is it more than $1 million or less than $1 million?
I think for me it's in the like $300,000 to $400,000 range would be like life changing.
Gotcha.
But like
but
less than that, and it kind of wouldn't,
Like 100,000. And I'd probably go a
100?
little lower than that.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on what you define life changing to mean.
Well, sure. I mean, like, you might completely change how you live your life. Maybe it would mean a change in job. Maybe it would mean you'd move. Maybe it would mean you would pursue a different
Well-
artistic career.
Right. I mean, it would have to be enough money to quit your job, right?
Right. It'd have to be enough money to quit your job.
Is
probably.
300,000 enough to quit your job? I guess
It
maybe.
depends on what
Like
I
if you
did
do your
with-
like how many?
Right.
Well, how old are you?
45.
You got another 20 years of working.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean-
maybe more.
I mean, depending on what
because the way we're
happens.
going now, who knows what's going to happen? My God.
Just gonna use me up.
I mean, because isn't like 69 the new retirement age now?
Dude,
Nice.
by the time I get there, they're just
69.
gonna you just retire
Said
from
it
active
again.
work to sitting in the energy tank where they just suck the last of your vestige of energy.
Yeah, Kabuki Kid says 300 is not enough. So think about 20 more years of working.
Right.
Multiply that times what you're making now.
Well, right. I guess I don't mean like you never have to work or make money again. Like, but it would change your life. Not like, yay, now I don't have to do anything, but
I had a friend who retired from Valve.
oh
So I'm
yeah,
guessing he made enough money to just fuck off.
probably.
Yeah, I'm like-
Valve's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, the Valve's a big. I mean, he worked on Half-Life 2
Yeah, yeah,
and retired,
yeah.
and he's the same age as me.
Yeah.
And he retired like 10 years ago.
Wow.
So
That son of a
in his
bitch.
40s.
Yeah.
I know. I wish I grew apart from him. We used to, I mean, we worked together. We worked in the industry for like, since the mid 90s.
Yeah.
But then when I he went to Valve and I went to a different company.
Messed up.
We diverted.
Yeah.
I mean, I applied to Valve.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't get hired.
Yeah.
But I was
You
not
got
applying
hired,
to
we'd
be.
have a Half-Life 3.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. When did Half-Life 2 come out?
It was a while ago, right?
2006, 7 maybe?
Yeah.
2007?
I think it was earlier than that. Half-Life 2.
2004.
That was a
Yeah,
while
because
ago.
it came out while I was working at 3D Realms.
Okay, I have a nerdy question. So do you remember Bethesda Studios?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Still
What
around.
was their big deal? Like, what was the big thing they were known for?
Skyrim.
Elder Scroll, Morrowind.
Okay. Because the
Fallout?
name popped into my head and I was like, I can't remember what they did, but I know they were a big deal.
Fallout.
Are they still making stuff? Are they
They
still
got
around?
bought by Microsoft.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, didn't they just come out with their space game? What was that called?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I played it a little bit.
I can't remember the name of it. I played it for like 2 hours and stopped. I'm like, I don't know, it just didn't grab me.
Yeah.
Starfield.
Mhm.
I should go back and see how it is now and see if I like it. Yeah, I mean, it did not do well in the ratings. but I know it's a good game. I mean, it just didn't work for me.
It's also inevitable you're going to compare it to
Kabuki
their
Kid had a
previous
friend retire
games.
at 41 but got bored. Like, so actually, let's change the question. What would you do if you didn't have to work?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a different question.
Yeah,
but
it's way better than
yeah.
Evan's question. Evan's question
I
sucked.
take
Good
a
one,
lot more
Scott.
naps.
I mean,
Take a lot more naps.
take a lot more naps. But
That's
you'd
what
be
Jack
bored.
said.
You'd be bored in a year.
100% not more naps.
You
If
think
I
you could
didn't
just do
have-
nothing for years?
Oh yeah.
If I didn't have to work, I wouldn't stop doing all my creative. Like I would just go more and more into TV and film, board games, and maybe even like pick up writing or
Prostitution.
filmmaking side. I wouldn't be able to not do. Like I wouldn't be able to not.
Yeah, you always got to do something.
I can't. My brain's too like.
I mean, you could be lazy for like a year, and do nothing, right? And then you're like, okay, now what?
Yeah. Now what? Now
How am I going to get
Yeah.
through this world without
Right.
some kind of thing outlet?
Right. Yeah, because creative outlet, community, relationships, and you got to do something. But taking more naps is also good. I would do that probably a little bit too.
I would do more shit than I get to do now.
Like what? Like
sure.
what? Games?
Just doing things like number one, like helping you, for example, right? I get to do that.
Oh, don't do that.
So no, you're not the only.
But I wouldn't be
thing I
working
know.
anymore either. So
Like
we
there's
would
other companies that I work with and help
Yeah.
them out, and there's a myriad. I would just do more of that. I like helping.
just
I
doing
just
more
I just do
philanthropic
things that make me
things.
feel good. Yeah, I'd help other people to do things that make me feel good. Like, it doesn't necessarily. Yeah, I just do shit like that. I'm just hey, I'm gonna go do this for a while. I'm gonna go work over here and piddle around with that until I get tired of it and then not do it anymore.
That'd be cool. I would go to a lot more board game conventions and just hang out and play board games.
No,
I love it. I do.
Yeah, you would do more game design,
I would do more game design too, but also just like
right? But
going.
that's work. I mean,
It
it's
is.
kind of work. Yeah, it's more. Work.
But it's creative work, where you feel like you're like doing something that feels fulfilling.
yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, I would do a shit ton more of that.
Yeah.
I teach a lot more kids to paint. That's what I would do.
That'd be really cool. That's cool.
I think I would do music.
Yeah.
I would get serious about
Synthesizers.
learning how to play the keyboard,
Yeah.
just tinkering with it.
Straight up harmonica.
Hey man. Get some blues traveler going.
Get cymbals between your knees and just go to town.
Like I watch people on YouTube that just rip off like amazing sounding stuff, and I'm just like, man, that's cool that you can do that.
They've been practicing that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this one YouTuber I just watched, and she was just doing chords, and it was like amazing.
Dude, if you do that layering stuff, like loops and stuff, and just kind of lay down some stuff, and then just lay something on top of that, and then just listen to that, and then you just put something on top of that. I bet you could do it. Just get the bass jam going.
Be louder.
I have like a short attention span though.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it for like an hour.
Good night.
Yeah.
I can't once it goes past like an hour, 2 hours, I'm done.
They have pills for that now.
Yeah. maybe.
Ah.
I feel like I do have a little bit of that because of like the way the phone has trained us.
Oh, dude.
Like I'm just
I think he was talking about
attention.
erectile dysfunction.
No, not that one.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke.
No, I'm talking about ADHD, man, where it's just like,
Yeah, short like I've got a short attention span. Like I'll do something really
Yeah.
intensely for like an hour, but after that I'm just kind of like I'm done. Hey Doris. How you doing?
hello,
Hey, Doris.
Hey.
smile, you're on camera.
Yeah, you can see yourself right there.
I see. Oh, wait.
You heading to bed?
I am.
Okay.
Good night.
Later.
Night, Doris.
Good night.
Night, Doris.
Night.
Is your lovely wife going to be at Gen Con?
Me and Kabuki are gonna start a band.
Do it.
But I want electronic and she wants rock.
Oh
So
yeah.
we'd have to be like an electronic rock band.
Can I sing? Is that okay?
Sure.
Electronic rock band, man. That's right up my alley.
That's right. Lance, we were
No.
saying the question when you walked away was, what would you do if you didn't have to work anymore?
I didn't have to work anymore.
Yeah,
You
like
would
what
tell
would
the-
your what else would you do instead of working?
I'd sleep.
That was said.
Those Chads, yeah.
That'll get you through like a year.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, I mean, that's like one of those like, oh, what would you do? Go to the lottery. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
Well, we
just
already
like,
talked about that too.
I mean, it's like, is it because like all my bills are paid and I don't, and I've got all of, and I have enough,
Correct.
You don't have to work to make your life.
To quote a John Goodman line, what if you had fuck you money?
Well, yeah, but fuck you money is different, right? I mean, it's just
It
like
is.
that means you got like that means you won the lottery. I mean, that's just like that's what that is. So it's not the same thing. It's I mean, so if it's like I don't have to work because like my house is paid for and you know, I mean, but I still have a budget and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know. I mean, you know, hang out with my family more, you know? I mean, go
Play a lot more
fishing, go
D&D.
go fishing more, you know?
Yeah, it's like a retirement question.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. I mean, it's like I'd you know, I mean, I do the things I enjoy already more often than I do. But the thing about that sucks about that is that like, oh, I really like playing D&D. Oh, everybody else has to work, so
Yeah, that's true.
they're not available. But I
That's true.
mean, that's one of
Yeah.
those things where it's like, yeah, so spend more time at my lake cabin, go fish it, you know, just
Yeah.
you know, because I can go fishing by myself, you know.
When you
Yeah.
go fishing, how long do you go for?
I mean, it depends. Am I just going out to like just you know kill an afternoon, or am I getting up in the morning and I'm going at it? You know, I mean, it's just like
What's the
so.
minimum amount of time?
Oh, a couple
Fishing.
hours.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you know, go drown some worms for a couple hours. You know,
Gross.
oh, it's just because you're not really, you know, you don't really fishing. You don't get success, right? You go drown worms. I mean, it's just like that's.
I've never heard it put that way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's like
Nope.
yeah, it's like go draw on worms for a couple hours. You know, 6 pack of beer, a bag of seeds. You know, just um. I mean, now, I mean, like back in the day, it would be like you brought a little transistor radio and you listened to the ball game. I mean, now theoretically, you have your audio book or something, and you're just you know got that plugged into your ears, and you're just you know the thing about fishing, and I mean, this is not I mean, this is definitely like very Hemingway-esque, you know, but it's fishing is a lot of like thinking. It's a lot of like you know stuff popping into your brain and thinking about whatever, um, and interrupted by moments of extreme excitement. You know, it's just like it's like you and you know, and all of a sudden it's like you've been sitting there with that pole in your hand, and like the whole thing about is you know go on. Anyway, you know, you've been sitting there the entire time, and it's like and nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening, and all of a sudden you feel that strike, and that's like and there's that wonderful moment of excitement where like and
Yep.
then yeah, and it's just like, and then you set the hook, and then like, and then there's the initial rush, and then when you set the hook because you know you had everything perfect, you know, because maybe you were trolling or maybe you were just casting, retrieving, but then you get that strike, and then when you set the hook and you realize it's set because all of a sudden you feel the real tug from the fish, and that's just it's just so awesome. I mean, and I don't keep any fish that I catch. I throw it all back. You know, I mean, it's just you know, even if I caught anything really big, I mean, the biggest fish I've ever caught, I just took pictures of it, you know, and then I made sure that, you know, when I put it back in the water, you kind of massage you push it, you kind of get the water going through its gills so it starts breathing again and kind of wakes up and then and you let it go. And but I mean, yeah, it's just there's just it's so much fun. I mean, it's just I love it, you know, and I have so many memories of doing it with my brothers and my dad and my grandpa, you know. So I mean, so yeah, if I could do anything I lived on I mean, that's the whole dream, right? Live in my lake cabin, and just kind of forget that the world exists. That's what I want, you know, just because my cabin's a little less than an hour out of town. Um, I mean, it's sad to say, but there's a Walmart that's a 20-minute drive away. So if I need anything, I can go fucking get it, because Walmart's got everything. And but other than that, I can just, if it was raining, you just sit and read a book. And if it's, I've often thought, like, I mean, if my wife was able to work remotely, um, like I am, I would pay the exorbitant amount of money to have Wi-Fi put in there.
Yeah.
And I would, basically come April. And this is that dream, right? Like when Caleb graduates from high school, which is still like 5 years away. Um, like come April, I would just live at my cabin, and stay there for like April through middle of late October. This house I live in would just be empty. Bring my dogs out there. I mean, there's just something way better about life out in the middle of nowhere than it is in a city. You just don't have to worry about any of that stuff. But I don't know. Probably never happened. But yeah, who knows? That's that dream, right? Those are those things that you keep alive in your brain. You hope that you'd be able to enjoy it, um, and be able to do that when you're finally able to retire and do whatever, you got enough marbles still left in your brain rolling around that you can actually enjoy it. I mean, like I mean, my dad when he retired at 64, and then he immediately went into politics, and then he was a state representative for like 10 years, and then he stopped doing that. He lost an election. And so then he's like, I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. And and then he and then he got out of when he was 72, 73. And then, and he'll be 83 in September, so he just that's what he does. He goes hiking and he goes fishing. And then goes to family events that his wife tells him that he has to attend. Like he's like, I
Yeah.
got to go to a wedding this weekend. He's like, so I can't go crappie fishing. I'm not happy. Just like crappies are really, he keeps his fish and cooks them. The crappie's a fun fish to catch and it tastes really good if you know what a crappie is. But if you don't know what a crappie is, you don't know. So anyway, there you go. A glimpse. And you mentioned um Old Man in the Sea. I always if you've read The Old Man in the Sea, I always ask, what's the last line of The Old Man in the Sea?
Spoilers.
Because what?
Spoiler.
Well, no, I mean it's just I mean well, if you haven't, I
Back
mean
anyway.
you gotta read the Old Man in the Sea, you didn't read it in high school. I mean, like I was required reading it when I went to high school. And if you like the old
I never read it.
there's the famous movie that did a pretty good justice with I can picture the actor, and oh my gosh,
Charlton
he
Heston.
no uh I can picture him. I can see him. Um oh, why can't I remember?
Spencer Tracy.
No, it wasn't Spencer Tracy. I'm gonna have to look it up because I can't. I can't. I can't
When
put
did
it.
when was the movie made?
it was 60s, it was late 60s. Anthony Quinn. Anthony Quinn. And I didn't
Mm.
actually see Kabuki Kid post that. It popped in my brain. Anthony Quinn played Santiago, the old fisherman. And and yeah, I mean it's just and the whole thing is about, just basically a man getting old and who doesn't think that he can still do it anymore. He doesn't have the strength of his youth, the whatever, and he goes out for one last try, to be the fisherman of his youth. And um and then but the last line of the book is, the old man dreamt of the lions. And it's like, if you read the rest of the book, you know why that's important. But yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Hemingway was a man. Hemingway is well considered to be, like, by a lot of people, to be like, like the last great American author, that kind of stuff. Um, uh, and he uh man, that guy was just tortured, just absolutely tortured. um there was this is a glimpse into my teenage life. There was a friend of mine had an exchange student from Spain or Portugal, I don't remember. And I remember I hung out, and my friend was a girl, and she went to another high school, Fargo North compared to my Fargo South. And there was this exchange student. I can picture her. I don't remember what her name was, but she was a big Ernest Hemingway fan. And I remember, when she told me, she's like, I love the last line of Old Man in the Sea, and she quoted it to me. And I remember, like, thinking, this girl is awesome. I just still remember that. And I remember, and it was like, and then for like I remember, like, it was one of those things when she went away, I was just so sad. It was like one of those things where, like, there's this girl from Spain that I can picture her. I don't remember her name to save my life. Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, whatever happened to her? I wonder whatever happened to her. Went on to live her life, but it was super nice.
I've been to his house
Yeah.
though.
You've been to Ernest Hemingway's house?
Mhm.
Yeah, my dad went to that, and he said
Yeah.
it was cool.
In the Keys.
Yeah. Well, we had our honeymoon in the Keys and we got married in the Keys. And we're in our hotel was like right around the corner from it. And the big thing of it is, for the time he quarried all the rock from out from under the house to build the house. So while everything else was getting blown out by storms and everything, you've got this huge ass limestone house. Uh, and and now the cats are all over the place, the polydactyl cats, and they have to have the whole house is like fenced up now because there's so many cats breeding there and they don't cut them. So they were they were just running rampant over Key West. So now they keep a fence up and there's like literally hundreds of cats that run rampant through his house. And the people that volunteer to work there take care of the cats.
Are you guys gonna go see Superman?
Oh yeah.
Probably not.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go see it next week. Not this weekend. I'm gonna go see F1 this weekend.
No.
I want to see that before it goes away because I think it's not doing that well.
What is F1?
Brad Pitt and I'm not sure the other person, but they're basically like an F1 team.
Oh,
He's like kind of a washed up old racer, but
yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be a comeback story. I mean, not trying to second guess it, but and they're like the other guy's a hotshot young guy.
I still need to watch Sinner.
I heard good things
Heard
about
it's
it.
good.
Yeah. That and what was that? There's an upcoming like a vampire werewolf film coming up. I saw a trailer for it.
Vampire werewolf film.
Yeah, I saw it like in the trailers on Thursday, Friday.
Vampire and werewolf. film.
Yeah, or vampire or werewolf. They talk about wolves in the trailer, but I think it may be a vampire after all. I don't know. It was just in the trailers for last week. And then I'm hoping that the Frankenstein movie comes out this year.
Isn't it just a Netflix
Oh yeah, the Frankenstein looks good.
series?
Like Del Toro.
Isn't it like an actual like TV show or something though?
I don't know.
I think it's
thought it was a film.
I think it's like a mini series or something on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but that's what I thought it was.
But I'm looking forward to that. I'm a big fan.
I
I mean,
mean,
he's got some
There's
mediocre
a show
stuff,
called
but I like
Werewolf to be coming out Christmas 2026.
remember when
Beast Within.
with the Mummy movie, they were gonna do all of those old creatures
Yeah, they were
like
going to redo all of the.
and then Mummy made no money and everybody said it was horrible and then they were like, well, we're gonna shelve this fucking idea.
Shadow of the Wolf. Does that sound familiar? Werewolves Blood Tide. I'm just looking on. I'm just doing searches here.
I don't know what that movie was.
I mean, movies are dying anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go see Superman. I think that'll
Yeah.
be good.
I want to see it.
Yeah, that's a movie that I think, yeah, I need to go see that in a movie theater. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
going and seeing that at like, you know, it just that seems like it would be lame to like go and see that, you know, not in a movie theater. Thing is that, you know, I mean, I'm like always like, you know, I mean, I I've always and I will always. I mean, I've got a few friends who are like they're big Superman fans. They're like, oh, I even have a buddy who like has his like son's name in Kryptonian tattooed on his arm. You know, I mean, like, you know, it's like it's stuff where he you know, he's a big fan of the Superman. But I was always like, and I'll say this, and I still remember. Do you remember like when you read comics and like you'd have like the letters to the editor? People would write letters. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't email, so like people would take out a stamp and, you know, and put it on a fucking thing and send it in there. But I remember there was somebody who sent in that you could send in questions. Like you'd say, oh, you know, it's like, you know, how fast can the Flash run? You know, things like that, right? You know, like and they'd answer them. And I remember somebody asked, how much weight can Superman lift with his tongue? You know, because, you know, it's got to be super strong, right? You know, because he's Superman. And the answer they gave him was he can lift the same amount of weight with his tongue as he can with any other muscle in his body, as much as he wants to. I remember as a kid, I read that and I said, well, how does this guy ever get beat? You know, in a fight, right? I mean, it's just like, you know, it's like, you know, you run into a guy that's like, oh, I'm gonna punch you. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna punch you as hard as I want to.
Tarzan.
There's no limit as to how much I can hit you. You know, I was like, how does this guy ever lose? I mean, obviously it's like because he's a good guy and everything like that. But that's why, like, you know, other heroes, and not even like I know the go-to is Batman. You know, it's like, oh, you know, it's like Batman's cool because he doesn't have any superpowers. And but even like, you know, people like, you know, I mean, like the Flash or whatever, I always found them way more cool than Superman. I mean, Superman just always felt like a dork to me. You know, I mean, it's just I don't know. You just hope that they do it well, and you know, and I'm sure they will. So, or they won't. You know, I mean, I'm one of the weirdos that actually liked that Superman Returns movie. If you remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember going to that with my mom. I remember like
That was
you
the
know,
last Superman movie I watched.
yeah, I mean that was
Yeah, same.
Is that the one with Zod?
No, the Superman Returns was the one where it was after Christopher Reeve died and it was like and they went out and who did they get to play him? I forget, but I forget the actor's name. But they got a guy that even kind of looked a little bit like Christopher Reeve. They even like had his hair did look the same.
Brandon
And
Ruth.
Brandon Ruth, that's right. Yeah, they went and found a guy that kind of looked the same, and they went for it. And
What was the plot of that?
so he
Oh, that was
came
with Kevin
back.
Spacey.
There was a whole thing about like whether or not Lois Lane's kid was Superman's kid,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then um and I remember like the big thing about it was that I mean, not to spoiler, but I mean, there was like this, like, there's this kind of big moment or whatever where um the the kid actually like you're led to believe that he was actually like um Superman's kid because he shows powers at the end. And um yeah, it's just like, and yeah, I mean, it just had some Luther stuff going on. And you know, anyway, it was it was kind of wayward and didn't like have a very good I don't know what's what we're looking for here. Like it wasn't structured well from what I remember. But um yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, whatever.
So what was it? I found those trailers. So there's a Alien something coming out this year that I'll watch because I'm a sucker. Alien Earth.
I liked that last Alien movie until the end. Like the last like
All right, don't spoil it.
well, no, I'm not going to.
Not
I'm
seen
not
it.
going to say anything, but I liked it. I liked it.
You just need to
And
watch the movie and you just quit saying spoiler alert. Just watch the dang thing.
yeah, I mean, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to say anything to spoil anything. But I mean, I like that movie. I like that last Alien movie.
But there's
I-
a Alien Earth supposed to be coming out 2025, and the vampire werewolf whatever it's called. Where is it at? It's right here. It's called Resurrection Road. It's set in around the Civil War, and from what I can tell from the trailer, it's like they have like a unit of like black Union soldiers, and they say, "Hey, go check out this village. It's got wiped out, and kill whatever's there." And it's either, "What if we don't go? Well, we'll kill you here, or you go kill it there and be free people." And so it's it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And they go there, and it's like the town's been wiped out, something's there, whatever. So it's like, oh my gosh. But I'm a sucker for that kind of werewolf horror genre stuff anyway. So I'll watch it. And then they're bringing back Dexter again.
that's so dumb.
So I
Did
don't
they
know.
not wrap it up? I've not seen the last of that.
Well, it's a brand new actor, isn't it?
No, it's the same Dexter.
Oh no.
And it's supposed to be like the first 5 seconds of the trailer, he's like in the hospital and he wakes up or something. It's called Dexter Resurrection.
That basically says what the ending of the old one was, but whatever. I don't care.
Well,
I
because
don't know. I've not watched. I never watched the whole first series.
I thought it was pretty good.
So I mean, and again,
Well,
Watched
what's
the
half
guy
of
up to
it?
John Lithgow.
so the first series ended perfectly. I mean, it had its problems, but it had a great ending. And then they brought Dexter back, which was dumb. And then they did a second series where basically Dexter was way up in like the middle of Canada or something. And his son from the first series, who you saw like when he was married, he got married, and then his wife was murdered, but they had that son together, and his son tracks him down, and I don't want to give anything away, but his son tracks him down, and there's stuff that happens, and then it kind of ended definitively. Like it was like, okay, now we're done. But now you're like, oh, he wakes up. I'm like, really? Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I just know they'll probably do more series, and then they'll do like Dexter and a CGI Jim Varney Save Christmas. And then I'll watch that one.
Dexter Saves Christmas. Um, You and I always thought. I mean, not that it's like it's neither here nor there, but what I always thought was kind of weird was that I can't think of the name of the actor that played Dexter, but
Anthony
the
Michael Hall, or what was his name?
no, it's like
No,
yeah,
it's not
you're
him, is it?
close. It's not Anthony Michael Hall.
Something
But it's
Michael Hall.
yeah, it's something.
Anthony Michael Hall.
It's a three word name kind of
Yeah,
thing.
he's something Michael Hall.
But his
Kimu.
Michael
the
C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall, whatever. Anyway,
Is that Anthony
the
Michael?
actress that played his sister
Yes.
on the show, they were like married or something. It was weird. It was like in like real life, or
Oh,
they
in
were
real
like they were a couple in real life, but like she played his sister on the show. It was just weird. And then they did end up um like
Divorcing.
well, divorcing or breaking up if they were a couple or something. I don't know exactly the whole 9 yards, but I mean, I remember it was like it was kind of weird. It was kind of like when they had on Arrested Development, they had Justine Bateman show up for a few episodes, and they were like, and they purposely made it awkward as by having her be a possible love interest for Jason Bateman's character. And it was just like it was like, ah, why are you doing this? But it was, definitely done a little tongue in cheek and uh, having fun with it.
And then the last trailer I saw was they're doing a John Malkovich is doing another film, and he's doing it entirely in French,
Oh, well, that makes sense.
and he doesn't speak French.
Malkovich.
And you can tell he's kind of just reading lines, but it's just
Oh, not to sorry like I watched The Covenant. That the like the movie about the Cardinals selecting the Pope.
yeah.
That is a good movie. That is
Oh, the Covenant?
yeah.
Oh, something else.
No, what is it? Covenant
Oh.
no.
Conclave.
Conclave. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, I want to watch that actually.
Yeah, that's a good movie. That's well worth the watch. That would make it onto my table. You know, um, well worth the watch. And I've been watching a lot of older movies lately too. Like weird older movies. Like I rewatched an old like noir movie called The Killers that starred Lee Marvin and Ronald Reagan like as a bad guy. Ronald Reagan is like just like this like ruthless killer. I mean, yeah, that was a good little it's a good little old classic movie. I enjoy some of those old classics. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, what else have I watched recently? All the you're always watching stuff. You watch anything recently? I watched the Pee Wee
Okra.
thing that you suggested.
Oh, you
that
watched
I
the
watch.
Pee Wee thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Did you know about it? A lot of that stuff?
Some of it.
I didn't know about a lot of that stuff, honestly, in his later life.
Yeah, but I mean, but it was like, yeah, I mean, it was definitely like,
But it was interesting to see the early rise of how quickly and massively he got popular.
yeah.
That was pretty interesting. What else have I watched? I haven't watched much lately. What is it? I feel like I watched something. Oh, I watched the Poop Cruise.
The what? What?
The Poop Cruise.
Never heard of it.
There's a Carnival cruise that was basically they had a fire when they were at sea on their way to Mexico.
Oh, I
In the
remember the
middle of the night.
story.
And basically lost all power.
Oh wow.
By the way, cannot flush the toilets without power. So they were told to pee in the showers and poop in bags,
Oh no.
like these red bags. So it's like a read. It's like a re. I mean, there's like tons of video of it, of the actual poop cruise, and then, because they were getting tugged back to America because they in the middle of the night they drifted like 100 miles off the coast of Mexico, so they were closer to America than they were They were like dead in the middle of Gulf of Mexico. I almost said Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, and basically they had to be tugged back to Mobile, Alabama, right? But they're getting tugged, and like the ship is like listing, and all the liquid like came back
Yeah.
out of it and like started coming out of the shower and the toilets and flooded the whole place with poop water and like feces stuff.
So do you still have the
And
copy of Tokyo Poop Divers?
no, I never got it.
No, you should have had that and then you watch the movie, then you play the game.
Anyway, there's interviews with like the the woman that's in charge of like activities on the ship, and she's like super funny. Like she's just incredibly entertaining to watch. And then like a couple other people that were on the poop cruise giving their like stories, and that was just fun. I mean, it's gross, but it's like it's kind of
Could you
interesting.
imagine? Could you
I
imagine?
mean, they were at sea for like 5 or 6 days with no, like little to no food because they didn't cook. They couldn't cook anything. They
Yeah.
had zero power. They couldn't flush the toilets. The air conditioner broke, so they also had to sleep on the decks. People were like they were like making camps. They were like, it
Yeah.
was like kind of like a survivor
Wow.
type thing, like post-apocalyptic. And the food was basically being hoarded.
Right.
Yeah, so it kind of like put the worst about it, the worst of
So
humanity.
what I can't
Jeez.
figure out about that, since why didn't they just get the people off the boat into smaller boats?
I
It's
don't know. I think that's just too risky.
and it's not it's
Yeah,
super difficult.
it wasn't an abandoned ship type situation. It was basically like they got tugged, but it took a long time, but they weren't like in any imminent risk.
Go
Thank you.
on. Sorry.
Anyway,
I had to
watch
go
that.
for it.
What else did I watch? I can't remember if anything else I watched recently. I feel like I've been in a lull. I mean, I told you guys about Mission Impossible, right? Or did I?
Mhm.
It's good. The last Mission Impossible. Final whatever it's called, or Final Reckoning.
The final
It's
one.
incredibly unbelievable, but
Yeah.
it's so fun. It's so great though. Like it's so tense. The tension of that movie is just unreal. Like I was just like, what?
Is
Like
that the one where the trailer where Tom Cruise takes a motorcycle off a ramp and they said he was really riding the motorcycle off this ramp or whatever?
I don't know, but man, if he did those stunts, I'm impressed because some of the stunts just were like mind blowing.
I know he does a lot of
Like
stuff. That's
I know he
what's
does a lot
cool.
of stunts, and I'm like, my
Yeah.
God, I wouldn't do it. Like, I mean, there was some
Well,
like,
you're also not insane.
yeah, but
So
I mean,
I
I mean,
mean,
even if a stunt person did it, it's still they were kind of
Right.
great, unless they're, I don't know, it didn't look like CG to me, like it looked real,
Hmm.
and I was just like, holy cow, I was incredibly entertained with that movie, I have to say. And did you know Mission Impossible came out in 2005?
The first
yeah,
one.
Or
it's
no,
a
oh
million.
no, 1995. Sorry, 1995. 30
Yeah.
years.
It's a million
And
years ago.
I've not
1995,
seen any
yeah.
of them.
you've never seen any of them? Oh my gosh, they're so great. Anyway,
Oh,
um,
who's the
there
stunt people on the poop
there
cruise?
is a person in this movie, in the most recent one, that was in the first movie. And if you've seen the first movie, and they show a little, I don't know if I don't want to say anything else, but he's in the first movie. He's a character for a minute in the first movie, and you definitely remember him if you remember the first movie. And he's in this movie too. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But there's some just ridiculous stuff that's just like, okay, how is he alive? How is this person alive?
I rewatched I rewatched the Nice Guys, which is just a great movie. It's just it's
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're fine.
No,
You
but-
what's your
Well, the
what?
Old Guard. Have you guys seen the Old Guard? It's with Charlize Theron. There's an Old Guard 2, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, there's an Old Guard 2. How amazing!" So I went back and watched the Old Guard, which is basically Charlize Theron as an immortal, like from ancient history, like ancient times. Like she's been alive for thousands of years.
Hmm.
She's badass. The whole team of immortals is badass. It's pretty entertaining. But now there's an Old Guard too, which I need to watch. If anybody knows Old Guard,
I'm
I've been
I
watching
don't
unfamiliar.
remember.
Jay
I don't remember
Renshaw.
hearing about Old Guard. What's up?
Jay Renshaw on YouTube.
Who's Jay Renshaw?
I don't know. It's this little skit comedy thing. Been watching that. That's pretty funny.
Cool.
Yeah.
I never watched The Nice Guys. I meant
Nice
to.
Guys with Ryan Gosling and
Australian
his-
guy.
what's his face? Yeah.
Gladiator.
Russell Crowe.
That is correct. You are bingo.
just
Ding.
just very, 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 very good dialogue, very good very just funny stuff, violence, very film noir as well, like trying to figure out a
Oh,
mystery
snap. It's
type
1
of
o'clock.
thing.
I got to go. All right. It's 1 o'clock. I got to get out of here.
Yeah, it's getting late. Yeah.
Oh, I started watching Squid Game season 2 because I saw Squid Game season 3 is out. And I'm like, guess I better watch season 2.
Yeah.
Anyway, just started it again. Not
Well, I mean, and lucky you, the third season's coming out because season 2 does end in a cliffhanger. So
right, so I don't have to wait very long to finish it.
you'll be able to,
I mean, season 1 ended a cliffhanger also.
in a way, it
was a
you
cliffhanger.
know, well, I wouldn't say it really ended it.
There's things left like unsolved.
Yeah, but you didn't know if they were going to have another season or not. I mean, so
Sure.
it was so when they, and it's just, whatever. It's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is that it's like it was good. But then they had to go and do something funny.
Do any of you guys watch Yellow Jackets?
I haven't. I've had so many people tell me
I kinda
it's
wanna
good.
watch it. Lord of the Flies and yeah, like a Lord of the Flies kind of thing.
Yeah, I've had a ton of people say it's good and that I should absolutely check that out. And it's just kind of like, yeah, I probably should. But I'm just
Kabuki Kid says Yellow Jackets is good.
well, if Kabuki Kid says it, well, then
Better
no.
push it to the front.
I mean, if the Kabuki Kid says that, then we know it's real. No, I don't know. Yeah. I'm hoping I don't buy anything stupid at Gen Con, but I know I'll end up buying something like I'll end up buying like Shackleton Base, even though I don't need it and I won't play it. But I'll be like, oh, I should probably get this because it's supposed to be really good. But we can talk about that, and then in 2 weeks, stay tuned for the big, giant, super long.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks. That's from Total Recall.
2
And
weeks.
then 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Do you have any
Weeks,
fresh?
2
Do you have
weeks,
any
2
fresh
weeks.
fruit or vegetables? 2 weeks. Looks at it.
That was the malfunction. Yeah.
Yeah, and then not to segue in it because I know we're gonna go, but I always thought that the whole thing where he takes the thing and jams it in his nose to find the tracker.
Yeah.
That's in yeah. And then you see him and he's like pulling that thing out and then his nose has this giant like
Glowing
Yeah,
whatever,
the red
the
light bulb in it.
I remember watching that thing. Oh my God, his nose would be so clear. Like, can you imagine how easy you would be to, like, how clean, no snot, no nothing.
It would feel
he-
amazing.
You would feel
the sinuses.
amazing. His sinuses would be. I have a buddy who says, like when he goes and he goes and he's not. People do what they gonna do, whatever. But he's always been one of these people that like I have to dress nice, I have to look nice. He gets a haircut like every 2 weeks. And like he's just and and then he'll go in for a spa treatment to have his eyebrows waxed and all these things.
Yeah.
And he says you've got to have your nose hair is waxed. And I was like, that just
Gosh,
sound, I was like, that sounds absolutely horrible. Because I mean, have you ever pulled a nose hair? It hurts.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
It,
good.
it feels like the devil is stabbing the inside of your nose. I mean, it doesn't feel good at all. Like, I mean, have you ever gotten a zit like on the inside of your nose? It's just the worst. But regardless, he said, "Oh no," he said, "it hurts for like." Because like basically he the way he describes it is like basically you have to breathe through your mouth because Evan must be talking to his wife or something. Um, but they put the wax like they basically jam wax up your nose, and so it's clogged, right? And then, but there's a stick, there's a big giant Q-tip that they leave in there that, so then the wax dries,
Then when they yank it, it pulls all the hair.
and then they just basically like 1 2 3, and they yank it out of his nose, and like and it just
Sounds excruciating.
it sounds, and he said, "You've never breathed more free than what it feels like after you like it hurts, and then all of a sudden it's like you've never." And I was like, the hairs and things are in there to protect you against breathing in garbage. I was like, it's supposed to be there. He's like, oh, it feels so good. He said, and then I don't have to worry about my nose hairs. Like, so people won't see my nose hairs. And I was like, people don't look at your nose hairs.
And I get sick
like-
all the time. It's awesome.
I get sick all the time. It's the
So
best
good.
ever. It's I remember. Yeah, he swears by it though. So I don't know.
There's nothing quite like a freshly shorn scrotum.
Yes. Okay.
Quite breathtaking.
Quite breathtaking, I assure you.
It's quite breathtaking.
I love that whole part.
What a great
Ritualistically,
what a great movie. That is.
In the
Um,
summer, we made meat helmets.
Yes. just
just standard, really.
just
Summers in Rangoon.
fucking therapy session. I had the group liquidated. They were insolent.
They were insolent.
But that was oh shoot, what's her butt? Who led that group?
Yeah,
Princess Leia. Shoot, I can't. Why
Yeah.
can't I think?
Carrie
of her name?
Fisher.
Carrie Fisher. That was Carrie Fisher.
We gotta go, but I just want to say that first Austin Powers
It
movie,
was good.
I remember going to that movie with my buddy Scott, and I was like, because he said I heard somebody say it was really good, and I was like, well, we should go check it out. And I remember we went to it thinking, this is where you could look at shit up and like see
Yeah.
everything and
Yeah.
know everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so
you
we
knew
like
nothing about it.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
went to it,
What's up?
and I remember, I mean, we couldn't breathe. We were
Yeah.
laughing so hard. And we went to some like Saturday matinee. There was like
1997.
there was like 14 people in the movie theater, and we were just like, "Oh my god, what is it? This is." I mean, we went. I was just this is the it's like it's absolutely insane. Like, remember the little like they would get done with a scene, and then they would have that like music cutaway of everybody dancing.
Yes.
And we were like, "What is going on? What is this?"
It was amazing.
I know.
Too bad the second and third one sucked.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
were not
they-
I
very
mean,
good.
like nothing could match that first one at
No.
all. But, I mean,
Oh.
second one I guess was okay.
It was fine. It was fine.
But third one was just not.
No.
Oh, the third one was they were just milking it for whatever pennies.
It lost all of its
Yeah.
charm.
I mean, the first one though. I mean, what was
It was magical.
when they, he's like in like
Punch
when
many
they're
women.
playing blackjack, and he's like it's like you have 17. He uses this thing to see the card hit. I strongly suggest I like to live dangerously, and he puts the 4 down, and then but he's like, and he goes, you have 5. He's just like, I'll stay. I strongly suggest it. I also like to live dangerously. Dealer has 20, you lose.
How much did that movie make?
Oh,
There's just so many moments that I just like can't not giggle when I think
Yeah.
about them. It's so
Tom-
good.
The Tom Arnold line, like, where
473 million total. That was the whole thing. The first movie only made 53 million.
but well, on a budget of probably $1 million.
And 16.5.
Yeah, but and
Second
that was
movie made
before
200
movies
million.
were huge. But the thing where
Hang in there,
when
buddy. You're gonna drop an O-ring.
No. Before
Yeah,
that,
but-
Tom Arnold is in there and he's like got that freaking stupid cowboy outfit on or whatever. And he looks over, he goes, "What are you in the show?" He's like, "Oh no, I'm British." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, that's all he said.
It's so good.
I
I almost feel like we should just watch it.
It's so good.
Just like he's like, "What are you in the show?" "No, I'm British." "No, I'm sorry." Just like, what?
Yeah.
I just, it was so good. It was, and just that whole bit where he's like, I'm not dead. I'm just very badly burned.
I think I can stand.
I think I can pull through.
The escape hatch. Yeah. And like no, not dead. No, just burned. No. And then like the escape hatch, I designed it myself. Oh, thank God. Blam! You shot me! You shot me right in the arm! And then there's the second gunshot. And he's just like this. Oh, yeah. It was a really, really, really good movie. And
When is the
they
Happy
magical.
Gilmore 2 coming out?
Really?
isn't it like tomorrow or like the next day?
I don't know.
I thought it was.
I've
I thought
not
it was.
really been following it.
It'll suck, and we all know
Probably.
that'll be awful.
Probably.
July 25th.
I'll be in 2 weeks.
So I mean, it'll be horrible, but they'll never be able to take the first one away from us, though. So,
Right.
Can't take it away. But yeah, you shot me. You shot me right in the arm. Good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next week, gentlemen.
Good night, everybody.